Well, good evening, fans. Welcome in here tonight on AudioSportsOnline.com. I'm Rob Kendall. Our play-by-play announcer for the evening is Lex Zorn. We are coming to you live this evening from Lucas Oil Stadium, where your Hamilton Southeastern Royals will take on the Westfield Shamrocks. And boy, what a great game it was last week for your Royals as they came from 28-0 down to defeat arch rival Fisher. So they'll look to get back into the swing of things. Delayed start this evening in the first game. Center Grove defeating North Central 38-7. The players for that game have just cleared the field. So we will have an extended pregame warm-up here, and we'll start close to the 9 o'clock hour. So we're going to have a little bit of an extended pregame for you tonight, and wanted to get the thing fired up, get the stream started for those of you who may tune in because it was a scheduled 8:30 start time. So you will be treated to a rousing information and conversation between myself and our play-by-play announcer for the evening, Lex Zorn. Lex, how are you?
Well, I'm great, and it's great to be here at world-famous Lucas Oil Stadium, home of the Indianapolis Colts, home of Super Bowl 46, that thriller between the Patriots and Giants, home of the 2010 and 2015 Final Fours, and tonight, the home of the Friday Night Lights. This is the really big football show. It's a very special doubleheader here at Lucas Oil Stadium. As my broadcast partner, Rob Kendall, just mentioned, Center Grove, the number one team here in Class 6A, has defeated McRival North Central by a score of 38-7, and now we're up to the headline event of the game. It's your fifth-ranked Class 6A Hamilton Southeastern Royals against the fifth-ranked team from Class 5A and their Hoosier Crossroads Conference rival, the Westfield Shamrocks. So the two number fives here appropriately in Week 5 of the Indiana high school football season. Well, proving that time flies when you're having fun, we're already up to the halfway mark of the regular season, and your Royals are trying to continue the momentum that they've built over the last 3 weeks as they head toward the playoffs. After a tough but understandable 28-7 home loss to currently third-ranked Carmel in the season opener, the Hamilton Southeastern team has run off 3 consecutive wins. In Week 2, the Royals went on the road and beat North Central 41-14. The next week, they returned home for a 21-18 win over currently 11th-ranked Avon, and last week pulled out that big 39-33 win on the road against cross-city rival Fishers, currently ranked 6th. Now tonight, Hamilton Southeastern tries to make it 4 in a row, but it won't be easy. Their opponent is their cross-county rival Westfield Shamrocks, currently the 5th-ranked team in Class 5A, and one of the most dramatic turnaround stories in recent years. Just 2 years ago, Westfield broke a streak of 5 consecutive losing seasons by going 12-2 and reaching the Class 5A championship game where they lost to Cathedral 42-18. The Shamrocks followed that up by going 7-5 and advancing to the regional last year. And this year they're off to a red-hot 4-0 start. Back in Week 1, Westfield got a 38-21 win over their former Hoosier Crossroads Conference rival West Lafayette Harrison. That was followed by 2 road wins against currently ranked teams. 40-36 at Southport, currently ranked number 10 in Class 5A, and 45-30 at Zionsville, currently ranked 8th in Class 5A. Finally, the Shamrocks returned home last week for an 18-14 win over Noblesville. Now, so far this season, Hamilton Southeastern has rushed 151 times and passed 115 times, a ratio of 1.3 to 1. Their starting quarterback is senior Carter Pori, who's completed 67 of 112 passes, that's 59.8%, for 883 yards, 6 touchdowns, and only 1 interception. His leading receiver is senior Greg Miller, who has 24 receptions for 331 yards and 2 touchdowns. Extremely close behind is senior Aaron Matteo, who has 17 receptions for 330 yards and 2 touchdowns. On the ground, the Royals' leading rusher is senior David Cece, who has 51 rushes for 205 yards and 3 touchdowns, followed by senior Curtis Goss, who has 27 rushes for 155 yards and 1 touchdown. Meanwhile, Westfield has rushed 160 times and passed 131 times, a ratio of 1.2 to 1. Their offense is spearheaded by senior quarterback Ryan Pepio. This season, Pepio has completed 79 of 129 passes, that's 61.2%, for 942 yards, 5 touchdowns, and 2 interceptions. He's also the team's leading rusher with 52 rushes for 254 yards and 4 touchdowns, and followed by senior Brandon Karsnick with 51 rushes for 243 yards and 1 touchdown, as well as junior Jonathan Swiden with 32 rushes for 201 yards and 6 touchdowns. The Shamrocks' leading receiver is junior Evan Manley with 25 receptions for 378 yards and 3 touchdowns, followed by senior Max McCool with 21 receptions for 205 yards and 1 touchdown, and junior Lucas Schultz with 15 receptions for 179 yards. Hamilton Southeastern's head coach is Scott May, who's 72-23 in his 9th season with the Royals and 75-41 in his 11th season overall. He previously was 3-19 in 2 seasons at Garrett. Westfield's head coach is Jake Gilbert, who's 31-20 in his 5th season with the Shamrocks and 61-56 in his 11th season overall.
Well, Leck, I was going to point out to our audience here that we are at Lucas Oil Stadium.
Yes.
So we are way up.
Yes.
We are up in the press box. So that is why the camera angle looks much different than what you normally see. We are appreciative that they do have solid pane glass that will prevent you or I from tumbling to our untimely demise. But we are way up, so you're going to have a different camera angle than what we normally bring you, which is pretty close to the field tonight. So if you see that and say, what is going on there, we are way up. Now, we had the option, a little insider track here as we kill some time before tonight's game, to go down a couple levels, but it was really hot and we didn't have a table. So we figured this would be the better approach to bring you tonight's ball game. If you look out on the field there, and it's a little hard to tell from our 10,000-foot view, Hamilton Southeastern wearing black tops tonight with blue letters and numbers, blue pants and gray helmets. They will be the home team on the scoreboard because this was supposed to be a Hamilton Southeastern home game. The Shamrocks of Westfield will wear the road white jerseys with gold helmets, green uniforms, and they will be the visitors on the scoreboard. And, Leck, you'll be calling the game tonight, so I assume you'll be looking up at these big, giant jumbotrons to do the play-by-play.
Yeah, this is my second game that I've called here at Lucas Oil Stadium, and I remember the last time it was Decatur Central versus Martinsville a couple of years ago, and, I found myself relying on the monitors a lot, which is very, very helpful, and it's also appropriate, because of the venue. Bob Lamy, the play-by-play guy for the Colts, while he's not my biggest influence in sports commentary, one thing he does extremely well is announce the formation, the lineup before every play, which is something that I, strive to do. And now that I've actually, commentated a game here, I understand how he does it because the monitors here are extremely helpful. I'm sure that there's no way, anybody could do it on a consistent basis without the aids of the monitors from this distance. And even, when I commentate at most high school fields, which I estimate I'm several hundred feet lower, if they're lined up between the 40s, it's often very hard when you're at a side view of the players to tell who's who.
Yeah, so as you can see, the Royals breaking their pregame huddle now there as they were going through some warm-ups. We'll go ahead and pan over there. This is a bit different on the camera work here, but you can see them there, huddled there in the corner. And we've still got about 20 minutes up on the clock before tonight's game. The first game did go a little long as North Central was victorious over, Center Grove was victorious over North Central 38-7. So we're looking again at about a 9 o'clock start time for tonight's game. I want to thank Ray Compton and all of our friends that helped put on the really big football show, getting us our press passes and taking good care of us. We certainly do appreciate those who have made it possible. And, Leck, it's always great to be able to come to beautiful Lucas Oil, and we remind everybody we will be wrapping up the season, I should say, for the Royals at Victory Field.
Yes, that's right.
As the Bulldogs, Brownsburg, and your Hamilton Southeastern Royals will do battle, so that should be a highly entertaining and unique opportunity.
Yeah, that's right. Victory Field just about, a block away from here, and a sensational ballpark. Just a few years ago, Sports Illustrated voted it the best minor league baseball stadium in America. So it's a fantastic venue. I love, getting out there to see the Indians, whenever I get the chance, and it'll be great to see high school football there against, two great programs. Hamilton Southeastern, obviously, the number 5 ranking speaks for itself. Then Brownsburg, they got a couple of super marquee players. They got their starting quarterback, Hunter Johnson, headed for the University of Tennessee, and then their starting running back, Tokes Akron Abade, a 4-year starter, as is Hunter Johnson. Akron Abate also headed for a BCS school. He's committed to the University of Iowa. And in between, we got 3 other Hamilton Southeastern games. A week from tonight, they continue Hoosier Crossroads Conference play across just a few miles to the west over at Zionsville. So, my advice to all of you Hamilton Southeastern fans, just take 146th Street across, miss that awful I-465 traffic and get to Zionsville in good time. Then your Royals return home after that for 2 consecutive home games on October 2nd and the 9th, first against Noblesville, and then a non-conference game against Hartley out of Columbus, Ohio. So still 4 Hamilton Southeastern regular season games after tonight. We'll be bringing you all of them here on AudioSportsOnline.com, but hopefully you'll get to the ones in person that you can. And then, of course, we look forward to the playoffs after that.
Well, last week was a gem of a football game. I had the privilege of announcing that game. Hamilton Southeastern down 28-0 at halftime, and it looked like it was all Fishers. And an amazing comeback that went down to the final play on about the 1/2 yard line. That was just an incredible win for Hamilton Southeastern, snatching victory from the jaws of defeat there, as it looked like they were totally down and out, and they were just a completely different team there in the second half to come back and get that huge 8-point win. One thing, Leck, I will say, we've been covering, I believe, since 2009, Hamilton Southeastern football, maybe 2008. First time I've ever seen these black jerseys in person.
Yeah. Yeah, well, maybe they're just trying to, I don't know. Maybe it's a good luck thing. I know that Notre Dame has occasionally experimented with a different, jersey change, although, it's ironic, though, that we were commentating the Shamrocks, and this happens to be the weekend of Irish Fest just down the street there at Military Park, so we'll see if Westfield has the luck of the Irish tonight.
We've still got 17 minutes on the clock. If you're just tuning in tonight, delayed start due to that first game. I'm always torn when we come here to Lucas Oil. Do I want that first game or second game? Because the nice thing, if you got the second game, you can take your time, get down here, avoid the traffic. But the bad news is you're probably not going to start until 9 o'clock.
Yeah.
So I'm always torn on that. But that was a great win for Center Grove, 38-7 in the first game. Of course, as you said, next week your Royals will be at Zionsville.
Yeah.
And that's always a great place to go watch a football game. We love our friends over there at Zionsville High School.
Yep.
And, Westfield really getting into the swing of things. They've got the giant blow-up gold helmet over there to run through. So they are sparing no expense. Now, it's interesting, to give you an idea of how big this stadium is, probably a pretty good crowd for tonight's game if you were at Hamilton Southeastern High School, probably somewhere in the realm of, I'd say there's probably 5, 6, maybe 7,000 people. Maybe not that many, but definitely probably 5,000 people or so. This place looks empty.
Yes. Well, it reminds me of one of my favorite football stories, back in the early 80s when we had the late, great USFL. One of the greatest games of all time took place between, I don't remember, it was the Los Angeles Express and whoever the opponent was, but Steve Young was the starting quarterback for one team and Jim Kelly for the other, and apparently, it was a game for the ages, and I think there were the official attendance was like 7,000 or 8,000, but people who say it felt like there were 50 people there, at the old LA Coliseum, but Kelly and Young, say that whenever they meet in person to this day, that game is the first thing they talk about, and or another example I think of, my dad and I were just talking about today, back in 2003, I saw the University of Indianapolis play Michigan Tech in a game in which 29 school conference or national Division II records were set. Matt Cohn, the U of I quarterback, went on to play arena football. He threw for 645 yards, the all-time Division II record. So, Sports Illustrated actually did a short article on the game the next week. So it's pretty cool to be one of the few people who saw something like that. That actually made the news. So that's one thing I could actually say I was there for.
Well, this stadium is gigantic.
Yeah.
And it should, for $700 and however many $1 million, you should be able to get a fairly large complex.
Yes.
This place is huge. And, again, it's always interesting for us to come here and broadcast because we are way up, like way, way up. Like even the Bob Euchre seats are better than these. So, but you get a little bit different view of the field. It is nice, very well lit. The roof is closed here tonight at Lucas Oil. I'm sure the cost of opening that roof and the threat of rain/lightning in the area prohibited them from opening it up tonight. Although I think I have been here for a high school game where the roof was open. So.
Yeah, I have too. In fact, I remember the last few years before I started commentating, which was in 2012, I actually started just attending a lot of games as a fan. It all went back to 2008. I just got a obviously very part-time job working at the Carmel concession stand. And that was when I realized the phenomenon that the Friday Night Lights have become here in Indianapolis. So then I started going to games as a fan and then, started commentating in 2012. But I remember going to the Payback Classic, which was the double, it's actually at least one year, it was a triple header that Peyton Manning put on. In fact, I met Peyton Manning back in 2009, the only time I ever met him at this event. But... I remember there was a game, I think it was between Arsenal Tech and somebody else, I don't remember who it was, but it actually started raining during the game, and so I actually saw the roof close in person, so that was pretty cool to see.
Yeah, it's an enormous facility, and every time I come here, I'm always amazed at how big it actually is. And it's cool to come here at an event like this because you come during a Colts game, hey, you go to your assigned seat, there's, 65,000 people at the game.
Yeah.
You don't get a feel for how big the thing is, but when you're here at events like this where the stadium almost appears to be empty and you can kind of have your lay of the land and roam around, and our field passes, our press passes are great because they give you access to the pretty much where you want to go, locker room, field, press box. It gives you an idea. I mean, heck, I parked, I don't know where you parked, on the what would be the south end of the facility, and the media entrance is at the northwest. So I mean, it's a hike just to get around the stadium.
Oh yeah, it is. I was, my dad and I were here for Colts the preseason game against Cincinnati just a few weeks ago, and yeah, it was like a camping trip, So yeah, it's a beautiful facility. Thankfully, they let us use the elevator to get up here to the top. Had they not, who knows how long it would have taken us to climb the steps. But anyway, nevertheless, it's always a great honor, for us to call a game here. I remember a couple of years ago when I did that Decatur Central Martinsville game, I commented, that only 6% of high school football players play collegiately. So for a vast majority of these kids, this is the only game they will ever play in a venue of this magnitude. And so it means so much to these kids, especially since presumably about 99% of them are Colts fans. And this is something they're going to remember for the rest of their lives. So I'm so thankful that Lucas Oil Stadium opens itself up to so many of these high school games every year.
Yeah, and as you said, again, I'm Rob Kendall. Your play-by-play announcer tonight is Lex Zorn, and we got about 10.5 minutes to go before we kick off tonight's contest between your Hamilton Southeastern Royals and the Westfield Shamrocks. It is interesting. We talked to Scott May on the Scott May Show on Monday about that, and it is a tough decision. Or it is a decision. I'm sure most of the time it's not a tough decision, but it is a decision these schools have to make because Hamilton Southeastern gives up a home game.
Yeah.
And it's great if you're supposed to be the road team and you get to come down here.
Yeah.
The decision really lies in whether you want to give up the home the home game, and in the case of Hamilton Southeastern, it happens to be a year where I think they have 5 home games.
Yeah.
So, and I think Brownsburg is giving up the other home game. So Southeastern really with 2 unique experiences, getting this game at Lucas Oil, and then this first of its kind game at Victory Field.
Yeah, that's right, and it's a great opportunity, very exciting for these kids, and also for us commentators. Maybe we'll never make it up the ladder to college or pro ball, but it's a great thrill for us to be here at this stadium too. Commentating a game, and I think from a fan's perspective, I have mixed feelings about it because it is going to be a heck of a drive for the people coming in from Fishers to see this game and from Westfield as well. But it's great for the fans to be able to see their team, play on the Colts field, and then most of all, for the kids, I think it's worth giving up that home game.
Well, I don't know about you, Lek, but we did have to pay to park down here, but it is totally worth it to me to avoid that Hamilton County traffic. Rush hour.
Oh yeah. I remember when I did the back in week 1 when Hamilton Southeastern hosted Carmel. I remember I left for the game about 3:30 just because from my 2 years living in Castleton, I know what a nightmare the 5/69 traffic is.
Yeah, it's a real peach to drive that stretch, and you're a West Side guy now, and as am I, and so we get the great experience on a weekly basis of almost weekly basis of that Hamilton County traffic. So again, we are coming to you live tonight from Lucas Oil Stadium. About 8 minutes on the clock as we get ready for tonight's broadcast. Lex Zorn will be bringing you the play-by-play of tonight's game. I'm Rob Kendall, and it is a pleasure to bring you tonight's live broadcast from Lucas Oil Stadium, home of your Indianapolis Colts. Lek, you've obviously studied up on a couple of both of these teams, and what do you think we're going to see tonight from both?
Well, Westfield is a very interesting offense. It's spearheaded, like I said, by their starting quarterback Ryan Pepio. And what's really unique about him, he's, like Michael Victrup, who we saw for Carmel 4 weeks ago. Pepio is an outstanding rusher, but unlike Victrup and a lot of the great rushing quarterbacks, Pepio is actually a heck of a passer. He's completed 61.2% of his passes on the season, and so he's one of those guys who's extremely dangerous because, he's a great passer who racks up a lot of yards through the air, but then he can kill you on the ground as well. A lot like Tommy Stevens, the great Decatur Central quarterback, who's now out at Penn State. So I think for Hamilton Southeastern, that's gonna, they're gonna have their hands full trying to contain him. But the Royals' defense has played very well all season, and you look back to that opening loss to Carmel. They gave up 28 points, but you got to understand, giving up 28 points to Carmel is the equivalent of shutting out probably 90% of the teams in the state.
Yeah, and it was funny because we called that game. You think, oh man, it could be a long season for the Royals. They gave up 28 points. But the great win against very impressive win against North Central.
Yeah.
Then they come back the next week with a huge win over Avon, and who's a very, very good team. And last week the come from behind win against Fishers 3-1. And we talked to Scott May about this on Monday, and he said, absolutely, if you'd have told me we were going to start with that schedule, we're going to start 3-1, I would totally have taken that, and moving on down the road.
Yeah, especially when you consider that last year was the first losing season that Hamilton Southeastern had under Scott May. They were 4-6, and the way they ended the season on a particularly down note, they went across town to Fishers High School and lost 21-0 to the Tigers. And, you always hate to go out in the first round, but especially, against your arch rival and to be shut out. But, I said in the post-game show that day, since I commentated that game, I said that, this game is going to be fresh on the Royals' minds throughout the offseason, and they're going to come back with a vengeance this season. And if there was any doubt that the Royals would be back, in elite form this year, they took care of that with that amazing come-from-behind win last week against Fishers. And obviously, the overall football community here in Indiana agrees, as evidenced by the number 5 ranking.
Yeah, and I said afterwards, I said, I've been doing this, covering high school sports, announcing high school sports, basically since 2003. And I will tell you that man, that was the most impressive football game I've ever had the privilege of being able to call, and I've called multiple state championship teams, and I've done my fair share of exciting games, but that was unbelievable, and that finish was also unbelievable, as there are some pregame festivities going on now at midfield. It looks like a Royals cheerleader and the Westfield cheerleader are both being honored for some sort. Again, we are very high up, so they are not piping sound other than the officials' calls of the plays up to us, so we don't know what's going on down there.
Yeah, that's true. We don't.
And that is one thing. If you're listening to us, it'll be a little bit different today. You won't hear that crowd ambiance in the way you normally do, because normally we've just got windows open and we're right next to the fans, and you can hear everything that's sort of going on as the Royals now make their way back to the locker room.
Yeah, that's right. And I just hope we don't miss out on the national anthem. Or maybe they just had it before the first game. I don't know. Maybe they're not going to have it before this game. But, I'd hate if, we were, didn't realize it was going on and, we weren't standing respectfully.
Well, if I had just paid better attention, I would have seen that it is the key community leaders, and that is apparently an award for their community service and participation in the community for these cheerleaders. So a great honor for them, no doubt. Their parents are very proud of them. But, again, if you're just tuning in, 3 minutes still on the clock. Looks like we're going to get some junior football players out there to greet the Royals, perhaps. I don't know. There is a swarm now of young kids taking the field, and I don't know if they are it looks like they're going to be the official greeters because Westfield's got the same thing going on, so I think they're going to greet the Royals, probably Hamilton Southeastern junior football players. Well, yeah, that's what it's going to be. Okay.
Yeah, I've been last week. It was a CYO night at Roncalli, and that was quite a treat for the halftime. We saw all the future Rebels there one by one, being recognized on the field. So it was an unusually long halftime, but great to see the way that the people down there at Roncalli get behind their program, and. And ironically, you mentioned that last week was the best game you've ever called. Last week also, that huge Plainfield win at Roncalli, definitely the best football game I've ever called in my 4 years. So, Plainfield, a similar boat to Hamilton Southeastern, starting off with a bad loss to a marquee opponent, but then they've been on fire ever since.
Well, here come the Westfield Shamrocks as they run onto the field and get a little tempting fate there as the Westfield flag guard running right past these little kids for Hamilton Southeastern. So Westfield on the field now, and we assume the Royals will be coming on as well. Again, Hamilton Southeastern will be the home team on the scoreboard tonight because this was a Hamilton Southeastern home game that they gave up in order to come to Lucas Oil Stadium. So they'll be wearing those road black uniforms, blue letters and numbers, blue pants. The Shamrocks will be the visitors. They will wear the road whites, green letters and numbers, gold helmets. And it will be getting ready to go here in just a minute. We predicted a 9 p.m. kickoff, and it looks like we're going to be almost right on the nose as the Royals are getting ready to come out of the tunnel, and we'll begin tonight's ball game.
Yeah, and I just, when I was doing my preparation for this game, earlier this week, it occurred to me the irony, the Shamrocks, like I said, they played in the Class 5A championship game right here at Lucas Oil Stadium 2 years ago, lost to Cathedral, so I just thought about the irony of that game. You had the Shamrocks versus the Irish. It's one of the biggest ironies. And it's like a couple of years ago, for example, actually a couple of weeks ago, excuse me, since I always do the, scores of other games, I made a comment about the Battle of the Food. We had Logansport versus Frankfort, the hot dogs versus the berries. And in fact, when I actually called the hot dogs a couple of years ago in a game against Danville, and I joked, and there's this team in New Berlin, Illinois. This is true. New Berlin High School in New Berlin, Illinois is called the Pretzels. So I joked that we should have Frankfurt and New Berlin, the hot dogs versus the pretzels, play every year during Oktoberfest. and it would be appropriate because that Oktoberfest takes place during the high school season.
Well, here come the Shamrocks. Here come the Royals now onto the field, and we are just about ready for high school football action tonight here on AudioSportsOnline.com. Rob Kendall is my name. Lex Zorn will be your play-by-play announcer for the evening, and we are just about ready to get these festivities underway.
Yep, that's right. The Really Big Football Show is what they're actually calling it. We're not making it up. That is the name of this doubleheader here at Lucas Oil Stadium. And so, they have several of these every year. In fact, I think it was the Western Indiana Conference a year or two ago. They had where like every team they rented the whole stadium for one Saturday, and like every team in the conference had a game here that day. So, it's a great opportunity for some of the smaller schools to get to play here.
Well, and again, we do remind you, for those of you tuning in tonight, or just tuning in perhaps, that we are at Lucas Oil Stadium high above, so your camera angle is going to look a little bit different. And we're going to do our best to get the names and numbers right. We'll be relying heavily on the very large scoreboards, plural, at the south, east, and northwest corners of the stadium.
Yep. And let's see, they've got the game clocks set for 12 minutes now.
Yeah, remind everybody, it is 4 12-minute quarters. If we assume you're familiar with high school football, if you are tuning in, but if you are not, 4 12-minute quarters.
That's right, yeah. While we have before we start off, I also want to remind all of you fans, get out to Bankers Life Fieldhouse tomorrow night to support the Indiana Fever in WNBA playoff action. The Fever in the playoffs now for a record 11th consecutive year. That's a league record. They're down 1-0 to the Chicago Sky in their best-of-3 series, so it's a do-or-die game for the Fever, so hopefully you'll get out there for some exciting basketball. And so anyway, now we've got the captains of the team meeting there inside the Colts helmet there at the middle of the field. And don't know if can't tell if they've done the coin toss yet or not. Because when I think about coin tosses, I always think about that controversy of back on Thanksgiving Day back in 1997, but between the Steelers and the Lions. You remember that one, Rob?
Yes, where they said they called something different than what they did.
Yes, and the referee claims that the guy in the air said heads, tails.
Earlier in the evening, Blue won the coin toss. They have elected to defer choice to the second half. They will kick away from the horseshoe. White will receive to start the game. Gentlemen, shake hands, please, one last time.
Okay, so if you did not get that, Hamilton Southeastern won the toss. They deferred. Westfield will receive the kick. One level of crowd noise that will be piped in here is the officials' rulings. So when they make announcements such as a penalty or whatever it might be, you will be able to hear that.
Yeah, and hopefully it won't drown out us, but we'll see.
So Westfield will be kicking from left to right on your computer screen. Or, I'm sorry, Southeastern, rather, will be kicking from left to right on your computer screen. Westfield will receive the kick. And almost right on the dot, according to my math, it is 9 o'clock, and we are ready to go.
Yep, it's definitely the latest I've ever. Ironically, 2 weeks ago in that Mooresville Plainfield game, I got out about 11:30 because we had a 2.5-hour rain delay. So looks like I'll be getting out about that late again tonight.
And we have two Shamrocks back deep to receive the kick. I want to say that looks like about 17, as we'll rely heavily on the big board.
So I'm trying to see who's kicking off.
Lucas Schultz for the Shamrocks to receive the kick. And the kick is up, and
yes,
it's a low kick that will hit and sail out of bounds, and that's not what Southeastern wanted to begin the contest.
Yeah, that was Tyler Melser, a freshman there in the kickoff. Hamilton Southeastern has not found a consistent kickoff kicker on the season. Stephen McElisha Jr. and Melser have each gotten several kickoffs. McElisha's gotten 12 and Melser 6.
Illegal procedure on the kicking team. Kick out of bounds. White have elected to take the ball at the 35-yard line. First down, White.
But yeah, McElisha's averaging 35.1 yards a kickoff, and Melser not much better, 39.5, each with only one touchback. So that's definitely something where they will be looking to improve. So now we have three receivers to the right, one to the left. Pepio under center with one running back here, and he hands off to was that?
It was number 22. No, 23. There you go.
Yeah.
And that is Brandon Karsnick for the Shamrocks.
Yeah, Karsnick is the team's second leading rusher. He's 51 for 24 on the season, and they give him credit there for 6 on that play. And now it looks like they've got a first down here.
Now, we ask all of you watching at home to bear with me. I run the camera, and this is always a what they call it, sweet science in boxing, trying to figure out a camera angle from this high up. So give me a few snaps before we get the hang of this tonight.
So now a handoff, a pass down the right side that's incomplete. He nearly got it. So the drop there by number 80 for Westfield, that's Max McCool. He's a senior. He's the team's second leading receiver on the season. So that'll bring up a 2nd and 10 for the Shamrocks.
Working out of the shotgun, 2 receivers to the left, 1 to the right.
And now we got, once again, Karsnick, the lone running back, lined up directly behind Pepio, who's worked out of the shotgun so far. We got a flag there.
Looks like we're going to get Royals in the neutral zone.
Prior to the snap, encroachment on the defense, 5 yards, remaining second down.
So we were correct, Leck. They will give them 5 yards, and it'll bring up a second down now, and 5.
Yeah, so 2 receivers to the right, 1 to the left, and now a handoff there to and he's got the first down there again, so 2 first downs on this drive for Westfield. That was Karsnick who got it. He has 2 quick carries early on.
Well, Westfield committed to running the football early. They did try to throw a pass in there, but getting Karsnick very involved as this game is underway.
So Karsnick, 2 big runs early on. And now he gets a third one, and he's got almost another first down. He gets about 7 or 8 over on the right side.
You know, it's always interesting in any level of football, but particularly high school. I think these opening drives for both teams, they're sort of feeling each other out and trying to figure out what pace the game's going to be played at.
Yeah, I think so. And so 3 early carries there by Karsnick. He's looking very good, 20 yards already. And now hands off to Karsnick again, and he's got the first down and maybe about 3 or 4 more. He's right. It looks like he's right up at the 30.
Well, it's been the Karsnick show early on, and why not? It's been very successful. 1st and 10 in Westfield again. No huddle. Like, we're seeing a lot of no huddle in high school this year.
Yeah, it's a very fast-paced game. So right now, pass up the middle, and it's incomplete. Looks like there's a little miscommunication there. The intended receiver, I believe that was McCool again. No, it wasn't.
Number 80.
Yeah, that was McCool, yeah. So it's 2. That's twice that McCool got his hands on a pass, but just didn't quite get it.
Well, and he was wide open, and he would have been off to the races if he'd have made that catch.
Yeah, so 2 receivers to the right, 1 to the left. Now hand off to Karsnick again, but this time he stopped dead in his tracks. They went to the well one too many times, and it looks like he might have gotten back to the line of scrimmage.
So our first third down of the ball game coming up here, a big conversion opportunity for Westfield as they face a 3rd and 11 from the 31-yard line.
And you can tell, Rob, you're in an NFL stadium by how quickly they update the scoreboard. You know, a lot of the high schools, the scoreboard operators are not that swift.
Yeah, this is obviously top flight operation here tonight. If you're again, if you are just tuning in, we are bringing you Hamilton Southeastern football tonight from Lucas Oil Stadium here on Audio Sports Online.
So now drops back to pass Pepio, and he's got a man open, but it's incomplete, so that'll bring up 4th and 10. McCool, once again, the intended receiver. So Pepio, I've got him down as 0 for 3 now on this game-opening drive. So let's see what they will do.
And it looks like they are going to try a field goal.
Okay, well, let's see. We've got their kicker is let's see. He's 7 of 10 on the season on field goals with a long of 37. So
William Harrison is the kicker.
Yeah, he's a junior.
And this will be a
49-yarder. His
Yeah.
long on the season is 37, so I don't know what kind of range he has. But, wow, this is going to be very close, and it looks like it's just short, just a yard or two short.
Yeah, and it would have been a little bit wide to the right. Obviously, with this camera angle, no way we can get that to you. But good news for the Royals, that was incomplete. It was a little bit short and to the right. And Hamilton Southeastern will take over with pretty good I forgot in high school they put it at the 20 if you miss a field goal, don't they?
Oh, yeah. It counts as a touchback. So now we'll get look at the Hamilton Southeastern offense. And, gee, this is not the best color scheme with these new jerseys. God, it's as bad as Lebanon's. But anyway, so Carter Pori now in shotgun, and we got a flag before the snap.
Boy, and that is going to drive Scott May crazy. That's going to be on the Royals, and that is going to be we'll wait for the call here.
Prior to the snap,
False start.
On the offense, 5 yards, remains first down.
Well, Hamilton Southeastern, has made great strides this season, especially on offense. They really struggled on offense last year, but Carter Pori's really coming into his own here as a senior, trying to impress some college scouts. So now Pori takes hands off, and he's up the middle for about 4 yards there. That was that was Curtis Goss. He's a senior, and they give him credit for 4 there. And now a fake handoff to Goss, and he passes a screen over to the right, a screen pass that's incomplete. And he had both hands on it. He just didn't get the grip.
Yeah, they kind of thought there that it might have been a fumble. Westfield players going for the ball, but the officials said it was an incomplete pass. I'm sure Westfield thought that may have been a backward lateral was what they were going for.
Yeah, it looked forward to me, but nevertheless, 3 receivers to the right, one to the left. Goss, the lone running back. Pori operating out of shotgun. 9:08 to go and counting, first quarter. Pori gets it, drops back to pass. Now he looks to run, but now he gets it off and has a completion out past the 30. So first down there, and we got a late flag here.
What a great job by Pori that time. And Matteo was the receiver who made the catch, picked up the run, tentatively has picked up the first down depending on the flag. But Pori stayed in there till the very last second, was hit, and as he was going down, got the ball to the open receiver. So a great turn of events there for your Royals.
Yeah, it's a 13-yard gain if it stands. We shall see, though.
There is 9:05 left to play here in the first quarter.
During the run, illegal block in the back by the offense. 10 yards from the spot of the foul, remains third down.
So that's going to move them back. Now, the good news is it was a spot of the foul penalty, so it won't hurt quite as much. But a first down taken away, and it'll actually put it back there at the 21-yard line. Now, they need to adjust the first down marker, don't they?
They're counting at 3rd and 9. So let's see, 3 receivers to the right, 1 to the left. Pori in shotgun, screen pass completed. He's got up to the 30, so he's got the first down anyway.
So same, very similar play, very similar result.
Yes.
First down.
And that time it was to Will Michaelis. He's a junior.
Yeah, I do apologize for that. I forgot that Hamilton Southeastern started at the 20, not the 15, but their first play was from the 15 because of that penalty.
And now he got a short run by Goss. He gets 3 or 4 up the middle. So I'll tell you, last year, one thing that really did the Royals in was they got stuck in so many 3rd and longs. But, so it was great that they were able to respond to a 3rd and long tonight by converting it this early in the game.
3 receivers to the left, 1 to the right now.
Now Pori into shotgun, another screen pass out to the right, and it's bobbled and dropped. Nearly had it there. So Pori going to the screen pass a lot early in this game.
And that was number 5. Greg Miller was the intended receiver. Miller had a great game against Fishers last week.
Yeah, he's the team's leading receiver. So now the big 3rd down. They converted on 3rd down last time. Let's see if they do it again.
And there is an injured Royal down on the field. I think it's just maybe a thumb to the eye or something like that. It's number 74, and that is Brian Detchat. I'm sorry, Sam Garvin. He's up. He looks like he's okay. I think he just got maybe a thumb to the eye or something of that nature. He's putting his gloves back on, and he's going to stay in the ball game, so that's good news for the Royals.
Remember back there was one of the big pro wrestlers in the 80s was named Garvin. I don't remember his first name.
Rugged Ronnie Garvin.
Oh, okay, yeah, that sounds right, yeah. So now Pori takes it. He looks to pass. He's got a man, and he's if it goes, it's first down, but there's a flag, so we shall see.
Well, and that was Matteo with the catch, the old Mr. Reliable there. Now, the way the officials are standing, they moved the flag out of the way. We shall see. Usually when it's that area, it's against the defense, but we will wait and learn with everyone else.
Yeah, so three completions now by hold on.
Holding on the offense.
Ooh.
10 yards from the spot of the foul. Remains third down.
So 2 penalties now on the Royals early on, who have negated first downs. And
yes,
thus far this year, Hamilton Southeastern's played fairly clean football, but 2 very big penalties. Now again, spot of the foul penalty going to move them back to the 35, so it'll bring up a 3rd and 8.
And don't forget that the false starter offsides to start the drive. So that's 3 penalties on this opening possession. So that's something you can bet that Coach May will be hammering on in practice. So now Pori gets the ball. He thinks about passing, then thinks about running. Then he throws up the middle. And he's got a completion there.
Great catch by Miller that time. Boy, Pori is just doing a wonderful job early in this game of keeping plays alive, avoiding defenders, and ultimately picks up another first down.
Yeah, that one goes for 12. So Pori already 4 completions in the early going here. And now he fakes the handoff, then throws. He got Miller again, this time for close to another first down.
Little pitch and catch there. Clock continues to move. 7:40 left to play in the first quarter.
So Pori off to a very good start, and as is Miller. The team's showing why he's the team's leading receiver. So now 2 receivers to the right. Goss, the running back, gives it. No, he fakes the handoff to Goss. Throws up to Miller again. This time he's inside the 30, up inside the 25, and now the ball comes out. But I think they're going to say he was down first.
And that pass was completed to Miller. So nice job catch and run there by Miller to pick up the first down. And, boy, Pori just using his athleticism early on, doing a wonderful job of getting the defense off balance.
Yeah, he really has. And and now hand off to Goss, and he gets inside the 20. So after three consecutive completions to Miller, they finally got the finally was able to attract the attention away from the running game and open up some doors for Goss there as they give him credit for 6. Now Goss gets it again over on the right side, gets inside just about up to the line of scrimmage. Actually, they might even get him a short loss there.
It's interesting. They've been so successful with the pass. They've gone with 2 runs in a row, and now they'll face a 3rd down. One thing for this Hamilton Southeastern squad, facing multiple 3rd downs on this opening drive hasn't really bothered them at all.
No, they've done very well now. 3 receivers to the right, 3 receivers to the left, 1 to the right. Now Pori goes into the end zone, and it is. Did he get it? Yes,
touchdown. Boy, he was pushed out of bounds.
Yeah, I couldn't. It was near the right side, but yeah, that was Will Cadre there. Cadre, the senior, the team's leading receiver last year, hasn't had as many opportunities this year, but he came through big on that one.
No, I'll tell you what, that was Miller with the catch. That was Greg Miller making the touchdown reception. So
okay, yeah, you're right. Yeah, I apologize for that.
It's hard from 75,000 feet to get the names and numbers right. Yes, but it was Miller with the catch. So great catch by Greg Miller that time. Hamilton Southeastern now to attempt the extra point to make it 7-0.
Yep, that's right. And the Royals have gone with several kickers this year. Let's see which one they go with now. But anyway, the kick is up, and it is good.
And that looked like it was number 90.
Yeah, that's let me see here. I got my
86, I think. Does that sound right?
No, the 94 actually is.
Well, and again, we apologize for this. It's just very hard with these jerseys from this.
94, yeah, Tyler Melser, yeah. He's the one who did the kickoff, so.
Okay. It's very hard sometimes with these black jerseys with blue numbers from as high up as we are to get those right, so we do apologize for that. But either way, the most important thing is the kick is up, and it was good.
Yes.
And with 6:14 to play in the first quarter, it's 7-0 in favor of your Royals.
So great start to the game for Hamilton Southeastern. They look like they're poised to win their 4th consecutive game to start this season.
Well, and as you mentioned, it's hard to believe this is the halfway mark.
Yeah, time flies when you're having fun.
Avon victorious tonight, 34-0 over Whiteland. Our main man, Brian Scott, communicating that to me.
Yep, and I'll have to check, get the WTHR app out in a while to get some. We'll probably have a lot of final scores to report. So now Melser, fresh off the extra point, now goes for a kickoff, trying to keep this one in bounds this time, and he does. It's one of his better kicks. It bounces at the 12, goes inside the 8. Now the Shamrocks return it up to about the 17.
Yeah, they faked the reverse that time, and it didn't fool the Royals, and that's where Westfield will take over.
Yep, that is correct. So, with 6:08 to go here in the first quarter at Lucas Oil Stadium, your 5th-ranked Hamilton Southeastern Royals leading the arch-rival Westfield Shamrocks by a score of 7-0, following a barrage of pass completions by Carter Poore. He completed 7 passes on that first drive, 4 of them to Greg Miller, including the score. So now Pepio with Karsnick, the lone running back, 3 receivers to the right. Hands off to Karsnick, but he's going to be brought down for, looks like, no gain. So that's 2 times in a row that they've stuffed him. So now, same formation again for the Shamrocks at 2nd and 10, or 2nd and 11, excuse me. And now throws up the middle, and this is a completion for the first down.
Nice pitch and catch that time, Leck. And that was number 17, Lucas Schultz with the reception.
Yeah, so they will give him credit for 15 yards on that one. So that'll bring up first down for the Shamrocks. They moved the ball pretty well in the on their first drive, and now we've got Karsnick again. I think they're going to stuff him for roughly no gain. They might give him forward progress out for 1 or 2. And let's see, they're going to give him credit for 2 there.
Well, if you are just tuning in, 5:13 left to play in the first quarter. 7-0, your Royals with the lead over the Westfield Shamrocks. I'm Rob Kendall. Play-by-play announcer for the evening is Lex Zorn.
So now 2nd and 8 for the Shamrocks. 3 receivers to the right this time, and we get the play is whistled dead.
Did not see a flag on the field. There it is. Just out of my view.
Prior to the snap, false start on the offense, 5 yards, remains 2nd down.
So, penalty on the Shamrocks moves them back 5 yards, and it'll bring up a 2nd and long for Westfield.
Yeah, so now see what the Shamrocks come up with here, 2nd and 13. I'll tell you, the difference between 2nd and 8, 2nd and 13 is pretty significant. So now they got 2 receivers to the left, 1 to the right. Once again, Karsnick, the lone running back, Pepio operating out of shotgun. I think both quarterbacks have operated out of shotgun the entire game. And now we've got, looks like the Shamrocks are going to take a timeout here.
Timeout, Westfield, their first charge timeout of the half.
Well, we remind all of you that we will be at Zionsville High School next week as the Royals take on another HCC foe. Before, as Lex said, returning back for back-to-back home games.
So, by the way, do you know anything about Hartley?
I do not. You know, Leck, I'm just trying to survive 1 week to the next. So we'll get into Hartley once.
Well, I was just wondering if there was some kind of major power. Because I know that some of the local powers here, such as Carmel and Cathedral, regularly play out-of-state opponents. Carmel, Cathedral, they play Louisville Trinity, Cincinnati Xavier, Cincinnati Moeller. Carmel, I believe, plays Louisville Trinity as well. So, yeah, because I'd never heard of Hartley before, so I didn't know if they were a major power or not. But nevertheless, it's always good to shake up the pace a little bit and get a new opponent. So now 2 receivers to each side. Karsnick, the running back. Pepio takes it, looks back to pass. this little screen pass out to the right that's completed, but for a very, very short gain. They were right on top of it, so that's going to bring up a 3rd and long there for the Shamrocks.
Really nice job so far by the Royals defense, keeping the ball in front of them, even though the Shamrocks were successful in a couple runs on that first drive. They really have not given up any big plays so far.
Right. And that's by the way, did you see who got that last reception?
Did not. I was
yeah.
working the camera.
Yeah. I understand. I couldn't tell from my vantage point at all. So we apologize. It's one drawback of this angle. But anyway.
He's flushed out, and he's going
and
to be
he's
hit
sacked.
Out. Yep, great hit that time.
So after the first down, then the
and I think that was Matteo that came in and got him.
Yeah, so now it will be a 4th and 20 there, and that will go down as an 11-yard loss there for Pepio, and that's one thing I hate about high school football, that they count a sack as negative rushing yards for the quarterback. That really skews a lot of their numbers, especially the ones who get sacked several times. So now the punt is low snap, bounces off the ground, but he does get it off. It bounces at the 50, 45, and takes a pretty good Westfield bounce, and they finally down it at the 39. But still, pretty solid field position for the Royals to start in. So it's 2:57 to go. Hamilton Southeastern so far showing why they're ranked number 5 here in Class 6A. And so they now take possession of the ball for the second time tonight, this time with 3 receivers to the right, 1 to the left. Goss, the running back, Pori in shotgun. Pori takes it, hands off to Goss, and he's got a hole up the middle. He's going to be very close to the first down.
Great run that time on first down by Goss. He's struggled a little bit as most of the yardage has come through the air thus far, but that was a great run that time, and as you said, very close to a first down, 2nd and short.
Yeah, they give him credit for 8 there, 4 for 17 on the ground for Goss so far. He's a senior, as are most of the big players for the Royals offense. So now 2 receivers to the right, and fakes the handoff to Goss, and he's got a man open up the middle with a completion up to about the 35. So let's see, who was that?
And that was number 4.
Yeah, that was Wilka Dre.
So the Pori show early on, Carter Pori doing a great job getting that ball out, and he kind of slings the football when he throws it, and a nice job. It's worked successfully thus far.
So Goss again on the run, and he gets about 6 up the middle.
Clock continues to move. 2:10 left to play. First quarter, 7-0. Your Royals with the lead, the ball, and driving into Shamrock territory.
Yeah, and Pori also completed 8 of his first 10, so he's off to a very good start. So now 2 receivers to the right. Now it fakes the handoff to Goss, rolls to the right, and he's brought down for a short loss. Pori is, but there is a flag, so we will see what ends up happening here.
Holding is going to be the call against the Royals, so that will move them back.
So now that will bring up, let's see.
Holding on the offense. That penalty is declined. 3rd down.
Ooh, interesting. They elected not to take the penalty.
So yeah, that means that will go down as a rush for 0 for Pori, his first rush of the game.
Brings up 3rd down and 10 from the 35-yard line.
Sorry, correctors, and they're going to give him credit for -1. So now Pori drops it back. He throws up the middle. He's got a man open, and he just dropped it.
Yeah, it was a little bit high on the throw, and that intended receiver was number 8, Klink. He was open. The throw was just a little high, and Klink couldn't pull it down.
So that will bring up a 4th and 11. But it looks like they're going to go for it here.
Well, you're sort of in that area where it's too far down to punt and too far out to take a field goal at this level, and so why not?
So now Pori looks back. He throws up the middle. He's got a man open. He's got the first down and more inside the 15, close to the 10. That's going to be a gain of about 26 yards there for Aaron Matteo.
Boy, Matteo has been Johnny on the spot early on, playing a great ball game, and it is another first down for the Royals.
Wide open right up the middle there. And they're going to mark him at the 11, so that will be a gain of 25 yards on that play.
Well, but now they're marking it back.
Holding on the offense, 10 yards from the spot. Remains fourth down.
So another ill-advised penalty. That is the third penalty on third down in this ball game that has been very harmful to the Royals, and it is going to take them out of the ability to even go for it. Now they're going to send the punt unit in. Boy, Scott May has got to be not happy with that.
Yeah, definitely a big disappointment there for the for the Royals when it looked like they were going to have a chance to take a 2-possession lead late in the first quarter and try to get the Shamrocks down early. But nevertheless, they did move the ball pretty well in that drive, and now he got a possible fake punt, but no, he does punt it, and it's fielded at about the 12, right up to the 15, and no further.
I'm not sure what happened there. The Royals punter catching the ball, moving in between Westfield defenders, and then was able to get the ball off before it could be blocked. So nice job there. I'm not sure if it because it was a low snap or what, but he was very fortunate to get that punt off.
Well, Rob, at least it wasn't like that Brownsburg Lawrence North game where the guy dropped it to punt and missed.
That's right. Yeah, that's right.
Which was really what that was the beginning of the game unraveling for the Bulldogs that night up there on the northeast side.
So
first and 10 at the 17 for the Shamrocks. They go on offense for the third time tonight, looking for their first score. 3 receivers to the right, 1 to the left. Pepio in shotgun. He fakes the handoff. Then he's got a man open on the right side, and he's going to be brought out, knocked out of bounds at about the 30. And so that is that was the number 1 there for the Shamrocks. That's Evan Manley. He's a junior.
If it's all right, I'm going to play with your phone here and check out some scores.
Oh, yeah, please do. You got the WTHR app there, so, yeah, go ahead. And now another pass to Manley for another first down, so that's 2 consecutive completions in a row for so, yeah, you can go ahead and play with my phone. My Words with Friends opponent's going to wait until after the game.
They probably wonder where you're all at.
Yeah,
it's been a while since you've moved.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, but Manley is the team's leading receiver. So now he has 2 consecutive completions for a total of 24 yards. So the Westfield offense starting to heat up. Now this time looks like we got a keeper there from Pepio. He is the team's leading rusher on for Pepio. He is the team's leading rusher on the season, but that's I believe his first rush in this game.
Well, I'm just going to read some scores here that may be of interest to our viewers in no particular order, as there's a short run. It looks like it may be enough for the first down. Avon victorious 34-0 over Whiteland. Ben Davis, they trail Warren Central 31-20 at the half. That says half, so
yeah, that's for by Karsnick, by the way.
Fishers leads Brownsburg 30-23 in the fourth quarter. Carmel 34, Lawrence North 14 in the fourth.
So now out of shotgun again. We've got 3 receivers to the right and Karsnick the lone running back. And now Papio throws down the left side, and it is incomplete, just a little too far out of bounds. Manley was the intended receiver.
Lots of scores on Operation Football. Noblesville leads Zionsville 20-7 in the third. Center Grove, as we said earlier, they were victorious over North Central in our game here, first game, 38-7.
So now 5 seconds to go here in the first quarter at Lucas Oil Stadium with 3rd and 6. Big play for the Royals defense, trying to get the ball back in with a chance to take a 2-possession lead. And now a throw, and it's incomplete. He looks like there was a miscommunication there. He threw a screen pass over to the right, intended for, I cannot tell who that was, but it looked like he started through the pass before the receiver was ready for it. So that ends the first quarter here at Lucas Oil Stadium with your score: Hamilton Southeastern 7, Westfield 0. The only score of the game so far coming on a 19-yard pass from Carter Pori to Greg Miller. And Melser's extra point brought us to our current score of 7-0.
Plainfield, a disappointing night for them. They fall to Greenwood 42-23.
Yeah, definitely. Maybe Greenwood's better than I thought this year. They were 3-1 coming in, but yeah, definitely a big win on the road for Plainfield. I really thought Plainfield had a good shot to win out their schedule.
Now, Leck, you'll have to tell me about this Operation Football app. Does it automatically refresh itself, or
No, you have to refresh it, yourself every so often. Yeah.
Okay. Well, then I shall do just that. See if we can get an update on some of these scores again.
Yeah. So sorry to hear about Plainfield, and I always enjoy getting out there, and I miss the hot box pizza they provide for the media.
Well, so 7-0 here at our ball game. 4th and 6 coming up, and it looks like the Shamrocks are going to punt it away.
Yeah, that's right. And let's see. This is the first play here of the quarter, and their punter is William Harrison, back deep to receive for the. Let's see, who is it back deep to receive for the Royals? Can you tell, Rob?
It should be Matteo, I think. But I wouldn't wager a large amount of money on it from our review.
So now, here's the punt finally. Is it going to be a fake? No, he punts over onto the right side, and it's excellent punt. It bounces inside the 10 to the 5, takes a Westfield bounce, and it's down at the 2 or the 3.
Boy, great kick that time by Westfield. Great bounce. And you see a lot more of these kickers now going to that rugby-style kick, Leck. Westfield does it as well, where the guy runs with the football before putting the foot into it.
Yeah, that's right. And that's just a trend that's just started here in these last few years. I've been watching football for.
After the kick, we had a dead ball, personal foul on the kicking team.
Oh, no.
15 yards from the end of the kick, first down white.
Or somebody is not going to be playing anytime soon, because that is a horrible penalty, and that is a huge break for the Royals. 15 yards. So they go from being pinned inside their own 5 to now looking at probably the 18-yard line.
Yeah, and you hate to see that if you're a coach. You got a Westfield coach out on the field now, and you're going to get a holding, you're going to get a pass interference once in a while. That if you don't get a holding or pass interference once in a while, you probably aren't playing very hard. But there is just no excuse for a personal foul or unnecessary roughness. And in a closely contested game like this, nothing can give away the game faster than an unnecessary 15-yard penalty.
Well, now what is going on here?
Maybe it was against the Royals. Maybe it's half the distance to the goal.
Well, they said on the kicking team.
Yeah, maybe they got it backwards.
Okay, well, it must have been because they clearly said on the kicking team.
Yeah, so it's 1st and 10 at the 2 now. So now Pori gets it. He looks back. He throws deep down the right side. He's got a man open. He's got the catch, and he could go all the way. Yes, he is going all the way. 30, 25, 20, 15, 10, 5. A 98-yard touchdown pass from Carter Pori to Aaron Matteo. And the Royals take firm control of this game. Oh, my God.
Well, Hamilton Southeastern apparently says you can take your personal foul penalty and we'll do what we've got to do. Great pitch, great catch, great blocking to give Pori time to throw the football, and Hamilton Southeastern now leads at 13-0 with 11:38 to play in the first half.
Well, Carter Pori, has been much improved this season over what he was last year as a junior. He was decent as a junior, but he's been very, very good. I mean, it looks like he's going to get, some decent college interest this year. So now the extra point by Melser is up, and it is good. So now there's that 2-possession lead I talked about, and your Royals threatening to give the Shamrocks their first loss of the season. 11:38 to go here in the third quarter at world-famous Lucas Oil Stadium.
Well, that's a really deflating play there. If you're Westfield, you've got them pinned all the way back inside, your own 5-yard line. I think it was at the 2, and to give up that play, boy, that's just that hurts.
Yeah, and that sets a personal record for me. That is the longest play from scrimmage that I have ever commentated.
Well, see, congratulations.
Yeah, thanks.
I'm sure you're glad now that you came tonight.
Oh, definitely, yeah. And the longest before that, by the way, Eli Conlon of Decatur Central, now playing just across town at Marion, had a 96-yarder back in 2012. That was my longest up till now. So,
well, you're not gonna. It's hard to do much longer than 98 yards.
Yeah. Now, in Canadian football, it can be up to 109 yards since they got 110 yards from end zone to end zone.
Well, wasn't there an NFL? I think Devin Hester returned as they'll fake the reverse.
Yeah, to the 10, 15, and now he's brought down at about the 15 on that return for the Shamrocks.
Didn't Devin Hester catch a missed kick in the back of the end zone one time and run it back for a score?
Yes, he did, yes. And I know Tony Dorsett, there have been about, I think, 13 99-yard passes, but the only 99-yard rush was Tony Dorsett with Dallas back in the 82 season on a Monday night game.
Well, that's kind of interesting that there's only been one run for 99 yards.
Yeah, now last I checked, there have been 2 109 yards in the CFL. But, yeah, not only one in the NFL. That was Dorsett. So it's hard to believe after all these years. This is the 96th year of the NFL. Still only one after all these years. So now the Shamrocks need to get something going on offense. Pepio hands off to Karshnick, and he gets up the middle for maybe 2.
Well, this is a big drive for the Shamrocks, giving up that huge pass play. Now they really need to get some sustained success here on offense, and of course Hamilton Southeastern feeling all the momentum at this point in the ball game.
Yeah, and so as they give as Karshnick credit for 2 on that, they got 2 receivers up to the right, 1 to the left. Karshnick, the lone running back, Pepio in shotgun, takes it, hands off to Karshnick, and he goes over to the left side, and we got a late flag here. He's brought down at about the 20. So we'll see what happens here.
Holding is the initial call, and that's going to move the Shamrocks back if the Royals should accept it. One nice thing about this aerial view, it is easier to see the official getting making the pre-call and then getting the okay from the coach on the sidelines.
Yeah, there's pros and cons to it, but, at the end of the day, we're commentating at Lucas Oil Stadium, so.
Holding on the offense, half the distance back from the spot of the foul, remains second down.
I really shouldn't have given away my secret. People would just think I'm a brilliant football mind that sees everything going on.
Yeah.
Now, the cool thing, I don't know if you noticed this, if you look up above us, there are monitors everywhere there, too, so we can watch on the big screen or...
I did not notice that. Wow, I'm amazed. Yeah, thanks for pointing that out. So now they have the ball back at the 9, so now Pepio drops it back to pass. He's got a man open, makes the reception, brings it up to about the 19. A little short pass there. Let's see who was that. That was number 33 for Westfield. That's...
33 for the Shamrocks is Andres Hargrove. I'm sorry, Nate Froelich.
Froelich, yeah. That means happy in German, by the way. Froelich does.
Well, he was happy that he caught that ball that time and had a nice gain.
Yeah, he's living up to his name, yeah.
Prior to the snap, encroachment on the defense, 5 yards from the previous spot, third down.
Boy, another penalty for the Royals and another unforced error, and that's going to make it 3rd and short now.
Yeah. So you can bet, May is going to be hammering on the penalties in practice for sure.
So 3rd and short now. Oh, and
Oh,
they
he got another
him
one.
again. Boy.
Wow, before the snap.
So a first down on offsides penalties on the Royals.
Encroachment on the defense, 5 yards, first down White.
So now they give the 2 consecutive penalties. They had them in 2nd and 20. Now they just gave them a free first down on 2 consecutive plays. So now 2 receivers to each side. Pepio in shotgun, Karsnick the lone running back. Throws on the left, and it's deflected and falls to the ground, incomplete. Pepio now 5 for 9 here, with 9:54 to go in the second quarter here at Lucas Oil Stadium. 9:43, your time of day.
Fishers now leads Brownsburg 37-23 in the fourth quarter.
And yes, and this is and hold that thought until after this play. But 2 receivers to the left, 1 to the right. Karsnick the lone running back. Pepio takes it in shotgun, fakes the handoff. Throws down deep down the right side, and it's just overthrown.
Had a man open that time, Leck.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, that was Evan Manley, who has 3 receptions tonight, but it was just a little overthrown there. It looks like he bumped into his defender, and that slowed him down a little bit. But, yeah, I'll tell you what I was going to say. The sad part is, Rob, you mentioned Brownsburg down 37-23 in the fourth. It looks like that's going to be one of the better games for the year for the Brownsburg defense.
Yeah, it's almost unbelievable to have 2 players the quality of Akinrabadi and Johnson, and to have a record that it looks like could end up being 2-7 or 1-8.
Yeah. So now 2 running backs now. So now pass up the middle. It is complete for the first down, and that is Max McCool with his first reception of the game. They're going to give him credit for about 12 there. Marking down the 41 the 42. So let's see here. 1st and 10 at the 42. 2 receivers to the left, and now we got a handoff. Fakes the handoff. No, see who was that?
Is that Karsnick?
Yes. For a very small gain.
Nope. Check that. That was 33 Froelich.
Oh, Froelich. Okay. Yeah.
There's a 23, which is Karsnick, and a 33, which is Froelich. And from this height, it takes a while to distinguish between the 2.
Yeah, that ain't no lie. So now pass over to the left side, and there's just a total miscommunication there. So that is an incompletion for Pepio. 6 for 12 now through the air.
Brings up 3rd down, 3rd and 9. Again, if you're just tuning in, 9:05 to play in the first half. 14-0 in favor of your Royals over the Westfield Shamrocks. I'm Rob Kendall. Your play-by-play announcer for the evening is Lex Zorn. Carmel leading North Central 34-14 in the fourth quarter.
So now 3rd and 9, a very crucial 3rd down for the Shamrocks. They don't want to give the ball back to Hamilton Southeastern with a chance to take a 3-possession lead here in the first half. So now pass up the middle, and this time it is incomplete. And we got a late flag. I think it's going to be pass interference there. McCool was the intended receiver.
Yeah, that was a delayed flag, but did finally come in.
Delayed flag, but I do think it was the right call. We're going to see, here's a replay now, which is something rare for high school commentators. Yeah, it looked like there was some contact there, enough to warrant the flag. But yeah, it's... Yeah, in 4 years of and that's one time, I always say that I wish that it were a spot foul rather than just the 15 yards, like it's the spot foul in the NFL. But here's one time where that works into Westfield's favor because, it would have been less than 15 yards, if it were a spot foul. So now handoff, and he's brought down immediately. I believe that was Karsnick again. Let's see here. No, that was Froelich again. And they give him credit for no gain.
Snap, there's the give. That's
and
Froelich
again. Yeah, he's made up for that one. He got a really good gain there that time.
Ben Davis trails Warren Central now 38-28 in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, it's life in the Mick.
Boy, every day is harder than the rest. Carmel 34-14, as we had stated.
So now they're Westfield. Pepio's looking over to the sideline for instructions there. Now all the receivers line up. All three receivers line up to the right. Froelich, the only running back, and we've got a flag here before the snap. 3rd and 10 at the 35. I'd imagine if they don't... Hold on.
False start on the offense. 5 yards. Remains third down.
Boy, I'll tell you that puts the Shamrocks in another dreaded 3rd and long, although they've had a fair amount of success on 3rd down conversions tonight. I remember that tournament game last year where Hamilton Southeastern was eliminated over at Fishers, and the Royals just got in 3rd and long all night long and just never pulled out of that slump. So they've avoided that trap this season so far, other than, of course, the Carmel game.
Well, no doubt the Royals are markedly improved over where they were last year.
So now is Pepio. He now takes it himself.
Ball.
And there's a fumble, but, who got it?
Looks like the Royals are claiming they did.
Yes, the Royals got it, yes. So a 3-yard gain, but then a fumble by Ryan Pepio.
And that was number 44, I believe, who came up with the football.
On the offense, that penalty will be declined.
Is that 44 that came up with it? Yes, it was. 44 for the Royals coming up with the football, and that is Justin Voskel. So Voskel recovering the loose ball. And a nice job by the Royals defense to pop that one free.
And, Westfield has not moved the ball badly by any means. They just haven't managed to finish off drives, and that's been their Achilles heel. So now we'll see if the Royals can get that 3-possession lead. Got a handoff there. I believe that was Goss there on 1st down and 10 at the 36.
Well, you mentioned the inability to finish, and that was something that Hamilton Southeastern went through in the first half last week against Fishers.
Yeah, and what a comeback, though. And again, an especially impressive comeback, in a 48-minute game as opposed to a 60-minute game as they give Goss credit for 2 yards there. So now high snap, but he gets it down. And then Pori keeps it himself off the fake handoff to Goss, and he's going to be brought down for a very short gain. Maybe one. So that'll bring up 3rd and long. Now they're actually going to give Pori credit for -1 there. So now this is a crucial play for the Shamrock defense. It takes it, looks on the right side, throws down, and it is broken up. Boy, there was a receiver there who would have had a big gain there for Hamilton Southeastern, but this very good. He was very well covered. It was a spot-on pass, though. The intended receiver there was Max Brooks. He's a junior. Still, I have Pori. These are unofficial statistics, but on my statistics, I've got Pori 10 for 14 now.
Now the Royals will punt this one away, Leck, on 4th down.
Yes, and so now I believe it's Melser, and it's almost blocked.
It was
blocked. Wow. And so great luck for the for the Shamrocks, and they really needed a big momentum building play. Now they take over an excellent field position. Like I said, they've moved the ball fairly well this game. Haven't finished off a drive, but now there's no excuses taking over at the Hamilton Southeastern 25.
I believe that was number 20, Jared Baya, who got in there and got the kick for the Shamrocks.
Oh, yeah. Well, waiting for a replay of it, but
they put it up almost immediately after it happened.
Now they're showing all the fans. They got all who are those cardboard cutouts of?
I believe they're of the players.
Okay, all right, because there's more than one. So now three receivers to the right, to the left. Pepio, screen pass over to the right. That's complete for a short gain there. Actually, more than it's they're going to give him credit for about 7. And let's see who got that. That was Okay, and I'll hold that thought till after the play. Now, again, no, and we've got a timeout by the Shamrocks, it looks like. So, no, Hamilton Southeastern, excuse me. So, now the Shamrocks threatening to get back in this game, make it a one-possession game.
If you are just tuning in, 6:21 left to play in the first half, 14-0 in favor of your Royals. They lead the visiting Westfield Shamrocks from Lucas Oil Stadium, 14-0, but a big blocked punt by the Shamrocks has given them great field position and a chance to get on the board here tonight.
Yeah, by the way, that was Will McCool on that last reception. He's also a senior. I assume that he and Max McCool are twin brothers. But nevertheless, both contributed significantly to the Shamrocks' 4-0 start, especially Max. Although that was a very good reception by Will, his first of the game. His brother has a reception as well tonight.
Brownsburg score going final. Fisher's victorious 37-23 over the Bulldogs.
Yeah, and I'll hold that thought till after this play. So now we're back to action here at Lucas Oil Stadium. Two receivers to the left, one to the right. No running backs. Pepio in shotgun. Takes it. And he on a keeper, he runs up the middle, and he's got the first down and much more. He's close to the 10. So Pepio, the team's leading rusher, with his best rush of the game. He's been pretty solid on the ground. I had him, pretty silent on the ground prior to that play. And they're going to mark him down at the 10, so that's a gain of 7 there. So now, again, same formation, and then another keeper right off the shotgun. We got a flag here. If it stands, then that's a 5-yard gain there for Pepio. Pepio, a very dangerous rusher. He already has 4 rushing touchdowns through the first 4 games for the Shamrocks, but that one is coming back.
Yes, as they infamously say, that's in the area of a hold.
All right, so now it'll be 1st and goal at the 16. So they've been lining up this entire possession with 5 receivers, no running backs. Pepio in shotgun, throws immediately, and it is dropped.
Little slant route that time. It was intended for number 11. That's Milo Beam. That's a great name.
Yeah. I remember Dick Vitale had the all-name team at one time. And I'm trying to think, what are the best names I've commentated? I really can't think of any that stand out right off. But anyway, same formation now. Pepio in shotguns. 6:01 to go. The Shamrocks desperately need a score. He dodges a sack now, throws into the end zone, and it is overthrown. So now two consecutive incompletions for Pepio. And so that'll bring up 3rd and goal at the 16 for Westfield. And especially remember, Hamilton Southeastern gets the ball first to start the second half. So it's particularly important for Westfield to get something here.
5:55 left to play in the second quarter of action.
9:56 your time of day. So now 3 receivers to the left, 1 to the right. Pepio in shotgun. Takes it, and he looks, and he's sacked.
Huge hit that time by a host of Royals, including, is that number 90? That's what it looked like.
Yeah.
And if that is number 90, that was Alec Piccone.
So now it looks like they're going to go for another field goal there. They missed earlier on a 49-yard attempt, even though, like I said, Harrison's longest on the season. And this one is from 40 yards, and it is up, and it is good.
Yeah, great kick that time, right down the middle.
Yeah, well, I mean, that would have gone from quite a few yards back, so they really justified that 49-yard attempt earlier. Nevertheless, Westfield gets their first score of the game, coming with 5:13 to go in the second quarter here at Lucas Oil Stadium. That brings the score to 14-3, still a 2-possession lead for your Royals. And Westfield, like I said, they are number 5, but they are a 5A team. Hamilton Southeastern 6A. And, of course, we've seen, plenty of times in recent years that there are teams that regularly beat, teams from higher classes. And in particular, a lot of the Catholic schools do. Not the public schools as much, but there are some that do. So now Harrison off that off that field goal. While the Westfield will try to, so now Harrison's set to kick off, while the Westfield will try to hold the Royals without getting any more points in this half, especially since the Royals get the ball first to start the second half.
Zionsville leading Noblesville 21-20 now in the fourth quarter.
So now Harrison lines up. Got 2 receivers back deep for the Royals. It's a fairly good kick, fielded at the 5, brought up to the 10, 15, 20, 25. Just got to hold the middle, 25, 30, and now it past the 40, 45. So returns it almost to the 50. It's a great return there by the Royals. And I'm trying to see who that was because he was like, okay, that's Brock Burns. Yeah, and he was running to my side for quite a few seconds before I got in position where I could actually see his number. So now one receiver to each side. Goss, the running back, Porian shotgun takes it, hands off to Goss, who gets a hole over, and he runs over to the left side, and he's going to be brought down after a gain of about 4. I'm sorry, that was
Is that Tetchy?
Yeah. David Cece, or however you pronounce it.
Tetchy.
Tetchy? Okay. All right. You've done more Royals games than I have, so I'll take your word for that. Yeah, he's.
And it's coming back. Looks like we're going to get an illegal procedure.
Yeah.
Or false start.
Yeah, Goss was the go-to guy early on, but.
Illegal formation.
5 yards from the previous spot. Remains first down.
I went with the legal procedure. It's close. It was legal formation.
So how do you pronounce his name again?
Tetchy.
Tetchy. I'll make a note of that here. Tetchy.
It's one of those ones that you think is spelled incorrectly when you see it.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, it took me a few times to get Akron Abate right, too. Okay, now I'll pass it back to Tetchy again. And then he's back up to he's into Shamrock territory there.
Yeah, nice job there to get across midfield.
Now, I'll tell you, the one good thing about Akron Abate, I've had 4 years to call him since he's a 4-year starter. So I've had a lot of practice at saying his name.
Clock continuing to move now.
Now Pori hands off. No, he fakes the handoff, and he looks to pass, but he's going to be brought down for a sack.
Well, that looked like it was sort of a jumbled play from the start, and he ran into about 3 Westfield defenders that time. Nice job by the Westfield defense to sniff it out as they did the play action there. 4:15 to play in the first half, and it's still 14-0 in favor of your Royals, who now face a 3rd and long.
Yeah, so now they trying to get that 3-possession lead, which they would with the touchdown. So now Pori and shotgun. Now he looks over to the sideline. He's got 3 receivers to the right, 1 to the left. Tetchy, the running back. Now he faces forward again, takes the snap, drops back to pass, rolls over to his right. He could take it. No, he throws, and it's tipped out of bounds. He had a man open, but there was a late saving block there by one of the Shamrock's defenders. I believe that was number 28 for Westfield. And he just stuck an arm out and managed to deflect it. That was, Luke Lammers. He's a senior. Senior, only 5'8", 168. So now let's see who's back deep. We've got back deep to receive for the Shamrocks. You have Chris Zolto. He's a junior. High snap on the punt, and it's blocked again. Oh my God! I'll tell you, Rob. Westfield will take over at about the 30.
Well, that's the second time, and just like with the first one, I mean, they just blew up the southeastern line. I mean, there were a host of them in there. It wasn't just one guy. I mean, one guy ended up getting the block, and let's see, that was number, as they only show it looks like it was number 41 who got the block, Noah Smith. But, man, I mean, there were 3 or 4 guys in there that would have got to the ball if Smith hadn't been first.
Yeah, so, obviously penalties and protecting the punter, 2 of the main things you can be sure that Coach May is going to address in practice over the next 7 days. The 2 block punts, I mean, that is, it's a bad season if you have 1 block punt on the season, let alone 2 in a game. And now on the first play from scrimmage, it'll be a short gain for 3 or 4. Who I believe that was, let's see, who was it? Yeah, that was Karsnick again. They will give him credit for 4. So now, Karsnick again, he's got the first down and more up to about the 17.
Clock continues to move, 3:10 to play here in the first half.
They give him credit for 9 on that one. So Karsnick, he got him 11 for 52 now, 3:10 to go. And any score would make this a 1-possession game, even a field goal. So, the Shamrocks prospects looking a lot better than they were just a few minutes ago now, and they were in danger of going down 3 possessions. So 3:02 to go in, counting now, second quarter. Handoff again to Karsnick, and he's got a hole up the middle. He could go all the way inside the 5. He's going to be brought down just short. Nearly got it there, so Karsnick with, I believe that's his longest rush of the game.
Total momentum swing for the
so now let's see. He takes it, and now a keeper from Pepio, and I believe he's going to be in for the touchdown. Yes, he is. So a 1-possession game, and the Shamrocks are back in it.
Well, that's 9 points now, Leck, that have been scored off blocked punts. So the Royals really have harmed themselves as we've moved. The time is wound down here in the first half.
Yeah, they sure have, and they're shooting themselves in the foot. I mean, it looked like they were going to take a 3-possession lead and really take control of this game. Now, with Harrison's extra point, that would make it 14-10, and this should be a chip shot for Harrison, and it's up and good. So just like that, 14-10. And we got a brand new game brewing here at Lucas Oil Stadium.
So we are just tuning in. That extra point makes it a 14-10 ball game. The good news is your Royals have the lead. The bad news is just a few minutes ago it was 14-0, and 2 blocked punts have been the catalyst for this Westfield comeback. Well,
what this reminds me of, Rob, and hopefully history won't be repeating itself, but you go back to that Brownsburg at Lawrence North game, the Bulldogs had a chance to take a 3-possession lead, and then there was that turnover on I call it the punt attempt. You don't hear that expression much in football, but that's what it ended up being, punt attempt. And then it was, the Wildcats got it, and they got a score, and that really brought them back in the game. And, it just unraveled from there. So, certainly hope that the Royals won't have such a collapse. But definitely, now obviously they're going to have to do something to stop, I don't know if you're going to have to go for it more often or whatever, but, they can't allow these block punts to continue because they could be killers. So now Harrison, extra on the kickoff, it's caught at the 8, right up to the 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, and brought down at the 36 or 37.
We say this, Hamilton Southeastern, behind their return game, has had some great field position tonight.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, and that's one of the reasons that they're in the lead. Although the one time they got their awful field position, they converted it into a 98-yard touchdown pass. So they can move the ball very well. The offense especially has improved a world this year. So now Porian shotgun, 2 receivers to the left, 1 to the right. And fakes the handoff. He's got a man wide open up the middle. He could go all the way, 40, 35. And he only had one end to beat, and that man caught him, but nevertheless, let's see, that was
Well, it was a touchdown-saving tackle for Westfield by number 20, Jared Baya.
so now and now who was the receiver on that play?
I was busy checking out the number of the guy that made the tackle. It was in the middle of the field. Great pitch and catch that time. Pori very accurate early on in this one.
Yeah, so now Pori over to the left, and it is caught there.
I think that was Miller with the catch that time.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, I think it was Miller on the play before that, too. So let's see here. First and that'll be 2nd and 3 at the 29.
Yeah, 2 goals here, really. One is to obviously get in the end zone. The second, don't give Westfield any time to get the ball back.
Yeah. So now a handoff, I believe that is
that's Goss, I think.
Let's see. I'll tell us as soon as they unpile on him. 1:49 to go and counting here in the first quarter. Yes, that was Goss back in it, and they give him credit for 2 there. So 3rd and 1 now. The main goal right now is just got to be keep the chains moving. So now a handoff to Goss again. He breaks the tackle on the left side, and he could go all the way. He's brought down inside the 5.
Nice run that time. Just a little misdirection give, and he took it, and he went.
So now the Royals starting to get that momentum back.
And that was Matteo on the give that time, Stephen.
Yep. So let's see. Now so they line up at the 4. Aaron Matteo, that's his first rush. He has been very active in receiving tonight, though. So now a handoff there to
Matteo again, and he's in.
Yes. Touchdown Royals. So they get the ball, they get the points right back. So Hamilton Southeastern reclaims the momentum, and remember, they do get the ball first to start the first half.
So Matteo has now caught a 98-yard touchdown reception and run for another. So great start to this ball game by Matteo.
Yeah, so now here's Melser trying to make it 3 for 3 on extra points tonight. Here's the snap. Kick is up, and it is good. So with 1:17 to go here in the first half, your Hamilton Southeastern Royals have that 2-possession lead back, 21-10 over the Westfield Shamrocks.
Yeah, it was really a nice response there by Hamilton Southeastern. Westfield with a lot of momentum after those back-to-back block punts. But the Royals respond, and they now lead it 21-10. I remind everybody that coming up next Monday, or this coming Monday as it would be, we'll have the Scott May Show, our weekly chat with the head coach of the Hamilton Southeastern Royals. Hopefully we'll be talking about another big win and previewing next week's battle at Zionsville. So tune in for that. We try to get that up posted for you Monday evening each week to hear the latest thoughts from the head coach of your Hamilton Southeastern Royals.
So now Melser set to kick off. Got 2 receivers back deep for the Shamrocks late in the first half, trying to make it a 1-possession game again, which they would with any score. It's a fairly deep kick, fielded about the 13, brought up to 15, 20, 25, 30. Goes tries to head in the middle, but he runs into a brick wall of Royals defenders.
Now, it'll be interesting to see what the Royals, or the Shamrocks elect to do here. There is 1:12 to go. They do have 2 timeouts remaining, so you would assume they will at least make a play to try to get this ball down the field and into the end zone.
Oh, yeah, you would think, yeah, especially since Pepio is so dangerous, both on the ground and through the air. Yeah, we shall see. They're still going, again with 5 receivers, no running backs. But remember, Pepio is a big threat. He's the team's leading rusher. And then he takes it himself this time, and he gets about 6 or 7 up the middle. Ryan Pepio having a very good senior season, and they're going to give him credit for 6 on that one. So now that'll bring up 2nd and 4. Same formation. Pepio looks deep. He throws on the left side. He's got a completion. It's going to be a first down. Not much more, though. I couldn't tell if he got out of bounds or not. It was very close. No, they might mark him a little short, in fact.
Well, the Royals had someone coming off the right end there on it'd be the left end if you're from the Royals' perspective, on a blitz, and was just about a fraction of a second late. Quarterback took a big hit, but still got very close to the first down.
That was Will McCool there on the reception, by the way. So now same formation. And now it's a screen pass. This time he's going to have the first down. He's trying desperately to get out of bounds, and he does for just a short gain. And let's see who that was. It's going to be a gain of about 5. That was Milo Beam there on that reception.
Still 35 seconds left in the half, and they still have 2 timeouts left. So plenty of time for the Shamrocks.
They need good clock management here. So now Pepio throws up the middle, and it's incomplete.
Had a man coming on the crossing route that time. It was number 11, Milo Beam, and he had room to run, as they like to say.
Yeah, but at least the clock does stop. They're at 2nd and 10. So now they 30 seconds left. So let's see if the Shamrocks can get within 1 possession again. Now, same formation. Pepio takes the snap. He throws up the middle, and it is just overthrown. So that's 2 consecutive incompletions, bringing up 3rd down. Mike Smith was the intended receiver. He's a junior, 6'1", 155. I think 6'1", 155. I think they need to get him in the weight room a little bit. But nevertheless, 3rd and 10 for the Shamrocks. 26 seconds to go. They have the ball at their own 44. They trail 21-10. They are undefeated coming into the game. Number 5 team in Class 5A. So now and this is a 3rd consecutive incompletion. It was just over the head. It seemed like there was a little bit of miscommunication there, and Smith again was the intended receiver.
So the punt unit will come on for the Shamrocks with 22 seconds to play. Disappointing drive there.
Yes, definitely. And so now I assume that, barring a major return, that the Royals will just be content to take that 11-point lead into the locker room and just run out the last 22 seconds, although they do have 2 timeouts left. So we'll see what happens. Now the punt bounces at the 30, takes a Westfield bounce up to the 25, up to the 24, where it is downed. Yeah, so from there, and only 12 seconds now in the half, so I imagine we'll get a kneel down from Pori and head into halftime. Nevertheless, overall, it wasn't perfect by any means, but overall it has been not a great first half, but a good first half for Hamilton Southeastern. Certainly, when you're playing a conference rival who's been a very good program in recent years, you got to feel good taking an 11-point lead into the locker room, and as Pori kneels down to end the half.
So 1 half in the books. It is 21-10. Your Royals leading the Westfield Shamrocks. We will step aside, take a little bit of a pause, allow you to watch whatever halftime festivities may be taking place. And then we'll come back with the second half. Hamilton Southeastern will have the ball to begin it here on AudioSportsOnline.com. Well, we welcome those of you in who happen to be tuning in for the first time tonight. Here from Lucas Oil Stadium, it is a 21-10 lead for your Royals over the visiting Westfield Shamrocks. I'm Rob Kendall, your play-by-play announcer for the evening is Lex Zorn. And, Lex, it was a really dominant performance by the Royals the first half, save for those 2 block punts.
Yeah, and it's an example of how, like we saw up in that Brownsburg Lawrence North game, how 1 or 2 plays can really just completely change the momentum and get one team back in it. And we saw the we saw the Royals jump out to a 14-0 lead. It looked like they were going to run away with it, and then those 2 block punts, resulted in 10 quick Shamrock points. Recapping the scoring, with 6:14 to go in the first quarter, Carter Pori passed 19 yards to Greg Miller. Meltzer's extra point made it 7-0. Then we had 4 separate scores here in the second quarter, starting with Pori with an amazing 98-yard pass to Aaron Matteo. Meltzer's extra kick made it 14-0. Westfield finally got on the board coming off a blocked punt when Will Harrison hit a 40-yard field goal, making the score 14-3 with 5:13 to go. And then following a second consecutive blocked punt, Ryan Pepio rushed 1 yard on a quarterback sneak. Harrison's extra point made it 14-10, but the Royals struck right back on a 4-yard rush from Aaron Matteo, his second touchdown of the game. And Meltzer's extra point brought us to our current score of 21-10.
Well, it's obviously a little bit different for us here tonight at Lucas Oil Stadium. Late start. Got started right about 9 o'clock.
Yep.
And we are currently at halftime. Still 8 minutes, 45 seconds up on the clock. And again, remind everybody that this game will be archived for your viewing pleasure. Hopefully sometime tomorrow we'll get that up, and you can go back and watch it anytime you want, completely free of charge. You can also check out any of our games that we've broadcast this year at your leisure. That's part of the cool thing about doing this, is you can view us and these contests. Well, you don't have to view us, thankfully, but you can view these contests, these exciting Hamilton Southeastern football games, anytime you want.
Yeah, that's right, and we especially want to give a big shout-out to all the grandparents who are watching, who've got grandchildren, playing in this game, wherever you are across the country. It's I remember when I was a kid growing up in the 80s, if you didn't live close by, to your kids who were playing high school ball, you probably never got a chance to, not only see them play in person, but even listen to any of their games on the radio. And now you can, and you don't even have to stay home to do it because it's archived, for you to listen to at your leisure, like Rob said. So
that's a great point too. You think about that, how far we've come in. We were talking about this before we went on the air tonight about how far we've come in society, to the point where when we first started Audio Sports Online, it's been 9 years ago now. It was such a novel thing that we were doing to even be able to do audio broadcasting on the internet, much less now it's obviously we've made video for Hamilton Southeastern very commonplace, as it is for the rest of our schools, many of our schools that we cover, I should say. So it is great to think about. You think about, even like you said, 20 years ago, if you didn't live in the vicinity, there was no even audio streaming.
Oh yeah,
there was no internet.
Yeah, and I mean, and it's affected other areas of life too. I mean, for example, when I was growing up, a lot of people scheduled their social lives around their favorite TV show.
Yep.
And people would stay home. I mean, both of my parents, for example, for most of the 80s, they couldn't, have any plans Friday night at 9 because they had to watch Dallas, And now, no matter how rabid you are a fan, if you don't watch it in its first broadcast, no big deal. You can watch the streaming, the next day.
Yeah, isn't that interesting? You did, because if you missed the live broadcast, if you didn't tape it, now you could have taped it.
After a while, but yeah, by the early mid '80s, yeah.
But yeah, if you missed it, you had to wait till the summer reruns.
Right, yeah, and of course it was a serial that was no good because you like the continuity.
Right.
But yeah, they really. it's just changed so much, since then, and really now there's not much that you really have to see live. I mean, major sporting events, most people still like to see live. I don't think there's a lot of people, for example, who'd want to tape the Super Bowl, but other than that,
Well, I mean, it's interesting. The Republican presidential debate the other night is a great example. I went to the Taylor Swift concert, missed it live, but you could come home and basically 30 minutes after I was in the door, it was replayed again.
Yeah, I usually, those of you who know me know that I'm very political, but I do keep my politics off of my sports broadcasts, except, when I talk about the attitude toward, the Catholic school's dominance. That I think it's sad. It's a sad commentary on American society that people don't look at the Catholic schools as a model of excellence to look up to and to be emulated, rather than trying to tear them down.
Well, but it's getting back to your point. It's interesting that how much society has changed now, and it's great that we're able to offer this service, and we love partnering with our friends at Hamilton Southeastern to be able to bring you all of these games now, as both schools now beginning to funnel their way back onto the playing field, as there's 4 minutes and 30 seconds still up there on the clock.
Yeah, definitely. So, we've got. I don't know. We got some kind of, is it that kind of I guess we got the cheerleaders there on the horseshoe, there in the center of the field. But yeah, this is a,
there are other games going on later this year. Apparently, it looks like, because I'm seeing other names in this program. Tri-West. What else we got? Triton Central, Lapel.
Yeah.
So there must be another set of games coming up here in the near future, and Western Boone.
That's right, yeah. So it's good to see some of the smaller schools get a chance to do this also. And Rob, we try to be a classy act here on Audio Sports Online. We're not like ESPN, who try to assault you with your political with their political agenda.
Right. There's also New Pal and Pendleton Heights. So apparently there's multiple.
Yeah, oh yeah, they have a lot of these. They have probably 4 or 5 of these every year. Sometimes on Saturdays they have quadruple headers.
Well, it's great that they have the opportunity to do this for these kids. We talked about that in the pregame show. That it's really nice that they can step out and give these kids this opportunity to come down, if it works for the school system, to be able to do it.
Oh, yeah, and, we see schools, it's not just, the Ben Davises and Carmels of the world. I mean, we see a lot of, teams from all over the state do this, and it's a great thrill for the fans and especially the kids.
And there's a really big football show for Indiana Farm Bureau Insurance All-Academic Team, if you look in your program, and Curtis Goss from your Hamilton Southeastern Royals was our representative. So congratulations to Curtis. Obviously a standout student. I was never a part of any all-academic team, Lack. I don't know about you.
No, I wasn't either.
I was barely a part of the team, or barely a part of academics, much less all of either one of those.
So let's see what else is going on. Let's see. My buddy J.P. Sinclair's alma mater not faring so well tonight. He's a Broad Ripple Rocket. They lost to Guerin Catholic 50-6 there at Broad Ripple. David Letterman's alma mater, as well as Roosevelt Colvin's, Mike Woodson's, and a few others. Let's see. Carmel. Well, I'll tell you, Lawrence North, who we saw beat Brownsburg 3 weeks ago. They're for real. They lost only 34-14 to Carmel.
So these games must be tomorrow then, because I'm looking at sorry, I didn't mean to divert there, but because I'm seeing an ad in here for a local TV station reminding the fans they can watch one of the games not from around here, but and they reference tomorrow, Sunday, September 20th. So I'm going to guess the games are tomorrow.
Oh, yeah. See, I just noticed on the cover it says Friday, September 18th.
Well, we should have really done a better job preparing, Lack, because yes, it does tell us.
I just thought it was just a single day event. I just knew it was this one in the Center Grove North Central game. But anyway, let's see. Chittard, Bishop Chittard over Ritter, 21-6, two of the elite Catholic schools in the state. Speaking of Catholic schools, Cathedral losing 31-17 at Cincinnati St. Xavier. But, you know, Rob, what I always say every year, you can, whatever Cathedral's regular season record is, you can throw it out the window because it's meaningless. They play such a murderous schedule. The last 2 years, they won the Class 5A championship with a losing regular season record.
And we talk with all of our coaches that we do coaches shows for about this quite a bit. You know, is it better to play I mean, look at the Hoosier Crossroads Conference schedule all these years. You know, the Avons and Brownsburgs and Southeasterns, what they've had to go through. And is it better? You know, you can walk in there with a record of 5-4, or you know, and you've played every team you've played. Say for a couple, maybe those Lafayette teams is a pretty standout team,
right?
Or is it better to walk in, 8-1, and maybe you've only played three or four really good teams?
No, I think it's better to play the tougher schedule, and I think that's another reason it was good that they dropped the Tippecanoe County teams, the Tippecanoe County teams in the Hoosier Crossroads Conference, because they were just, I mean, the last year that Harrison, Jeff, and McCutcheon were in the HCC, they were 1-20. In regular season games that weren't against each other. So, it just didn't make sense keeping them in. And for logistical reasons as well, in addition to competitive reasons.
Well, and it's also interesting because Harrison had a really tough stretch there.
Yeah, they had a 38-game losing streak that just ended last year.
And I remember a couple games that we did there over the years, Brownsburg or Southeastern or whatever, where, I mean, it was literally over midway through the first half. I'm going to go take care of one of our event hosts here and thank him for allowing us to sit up here up top. So, Steve, take it away.
Okay. Well, the team's just returning now for the second half. We've got about 5,000 people here in this stadium here at Lucas Oil Stadium watching this event. This is that we had, if you counted the people who were for the first game, the Center Grove North Central game, we probably had in the neighborhood of 10, 11, 12,000 people here today. And, of course, we'll have several thousand tomorrow for the 3 or 4 games then. But, yeah, it's great that we have so many people came, all the way down from Fishers, endured the 69/465 traffic to get here. And as well as the people from came in from Westfield, that's probably a 35 minute drive from here. And it's great when the Friday Night Lights takes a venture here into Lucas Oil Stadium. So it should be a very exciting second half in which the Royals. If the Royals play a mistake-free half, I think they will run away with it. If they, shoot themselves in the foot with more penalties and more, and any more blocked punts, then the Shamrocks will definitely have a shot. But it's great here looking down at this crowd, and we've got We're on the side of Hamilton Southeastern, and then we've got the Shamrock fans across the field. It's so good to see so many lovely people out there tonight. We would especially like to we would especially like to welcome all the representatives of Indiana's law enforcement community who have chosen to join us at Lucas Oil Stadium at this time. We certainly hope you enjoy the game, and please remember, people, that no matter who you are and what you do to live, thrive, and survive, there are still some things that make us all the same. You, me, them, everybody. Oh, and by the way, it's ladies' night tonight at Lucas Oil Stadium. So, anyway, the Royals have now taken the field to begin the second half here. We are awaiting the arrival of the Westfield kicking team. If Hamilton Southeastern scores a touchdown on this possession, they will have a 3-possession lead, and that would be very, very hard for the Shamrocks to overcome. Shamrocks are a 5A team, but a very good one. Like I said, 2 years ago they played in the Class 5A championship game, losing to Cathedral in an all-Irish matchup, the Shamrocks versus the Fighting Irish. And to all my words with friends, opponents, I will be back after the game, so just bear with me for a little while. So now Harrison on the kick for the Shamrocks. We have two players back deep for Hamilton Southeastern. And it's going to be fielded just inside the 10, but up to the 10, 15, 20. And it spins around, tries to get some yards on second effort, but gets knocked back a little bit. So I could not tell who that was. So the color scheme of Hamilton Southeastern isn't very good, but it's not as bad as Lebanon's. Lebanon's, I think, is the worst of all time. I mean, they're home uniforms anyway. I've never called a Lebanon road game. So now 1st and 10 at the 24 as the Royals start here in the second half with a 21-10 lead. Two receivers to the left, none to the right. Handoff there, I believe that was David Tecci. No, I'm sorry, that was Matty Oak, excuse me. He had 2 touchdowns in the first half, 1 on the air, 1 in the ground.
We apologize for the lack of camera work there. I am the cameraman, and I had to go thank Vic Ruthig, along with Ray Compton, who are the people who host this event and allow us to come out here. So we do apologize. That is on me, but we needed to thank them because they do a wonderful, wonderful job with this every year.
Yes, they do. So now passed on the right side by Pori, and there's going to be pass interference, it looks like, against Westfield. It looked like he grabbed the jersey of the intended receiver. I believe that was intended for Miller there on the right side.
You know, Ray, I go refer to Ray, he's like the mad scientist. Ray was the marketing director for years for the Colts. He was very famous. He slept on a billboard one time when he was same position for the Ice to get people to come to the Ice games. And Vic is an Avon resident, a great guy, and we just love those guys to death, and it was great to be able to see those guys tonight.
Oh, yeah. Well, now we've got 1st and 10 at the 42 at Hamilton Southeastern Zone 42. So we got 2 receivers to the left, 1 to the right. Matteo, the running back. And now, that's Goss, excuse me. Goss gets it right on the snap, and he takes it up for about 5. So Curtis Goss, they give him credit for 5 up the middle. And special thanks to the Colts scoreboard operator who is...
They're doing a great job, aren't they?
Yes. A lot better job than they did in Mooresville a couple of weeks ago. So now we got a sack there. Pori goes down. He might have gotten back to the line of scrimmage. I don't think he quite got that far. No, they're going to bring him down for a loss of 2 or 3. So a crucial third as they give Pori credit for -3 there. So a very crucial third down for the Shamrock defense here.
Now, Hamilton Southeastern has been real good at converting the third downs. The only problem is they've had penalties, which have negated them.
Oh, yeah. And now we got yet another penalty. And based on the Westfield reaction, it looks like it's going to be against the Royals.
Prior to the snap infraction on the offense. 5 yards from the previous spot, remains third down.
That referee forgot to turn his mic off there momentarily. He's lucky he didn't say one of those words you can't say in church.
Oh, yeah. We wouldn't want to. I always try to keep my broadcast G-rated. So now, short pass that's completed. I believe that was. Could not tell. Oh, I believe it was Cadre. Yes, that was Will Cadre there. They give credit for 5 there. So a good job by the Shamrocks holding the Royals without any points to start off the half. Now now Westfield will get the ball back with a chance to cut the lead to 1 possession. Low snap on the punt, nearly blocked again, but he does get this one away. Bounces about the 37, and now takes and it's off of a it hit a Royals player at about the 34. So the Shamrocks take over with a decent field position here.
So it'll bring up 1st down and 10. 9:33 left to play in the third quarter. I'm Rob Kendall. Your play-by-play announcer for tonight is Lek Zorn. And your Royals lead at 21-10. Defense on the field for the first time in the second half.
Now, Will Cadre on that last play, he got only a second reception of the night. He was the team's leading receiver last year as a junior. taken a back seat to Greg Miller here as a senior, but still has had some good moments. So now Pepio, this time he's got a running back again, but he takes it himself right on the snap, and he gets up for about 3. Moved his body in several directions looking for a hole, and they end up crediting him with 2 there. So that'll bring 2nd and 8, 9:10 to go here in the third quarter at Lucas Oil Stadium. Shamrocks, very crucial possession on offense. So Pepio takes the snap, and he hands off to Karshnick, and they were ready for him, and they brought him down for a loss.
No, he kept the ball there, Leck.
Oh,
great fake.
Wow, that was a great fake. So we got I blew that call big time.
Well, he fooled half the Royals defense, too, so don't feel too bad about it. It was a run, good enough for first down as he moved the ball up to the 48-yard line.
Yeah, so that's a 13-yard gain there by Ryan Pepio on the keeper. I believe that's his longest rush of the game.
Yeah, that was some excellent trickery there by the Westfield backfield.
So now handoff to Karshnick, and he's up the middle. He gets several yards after contact. They're going to give him credit for about 5 there. We'll bring up about 2nd and 5. I'll tell you, whenever I think about fake handoffs, I think about Scott Amore, the old Danville option quarterback. He was a senior back in 2012. I blew 6 or 7 calls because of that guy. So now, screen pass over on the right, and it is incomplete.
So it'll bring up 3rd and 6 now. 8:24 to play in the third quarter.
But yeah, Scott Amore is the standard of excellence in handoff fakes. I need to check to see if he's playing collegiately or not. I thought he might be like a D3 NAIA type guy. So, but yeah, he was a fun quarterback to watch. He rarely threw, but man, he could run, and he could run the option very well. So now, he would be a junior in college now, by the way. So Pepio takes the snap on the shotgun, throws over. He's got a completion to Manley, and he's brought down. He's going to be short of the first.
Well, a nice job there by the Southeastern secondary to close in on the Westfield receiver after he caught the ball, and they're going to go for it on 4th down.
Yep, the 4th and 3, very crucial possession for the Shamrocks. The game could hinge on this play. Empty backfield, 5 receivers, and so Hamilton Southeastern takes a timeout here.
7:54 to play in the third. I want to thank all of our Hamilton Southeastern parents and the Parents Club that has made this possible. We certainly could not have done it without them. We always appreciate their support of allowing us to bring you the broadcast this year.
Yes, without commercial interruption. Shazam. And so let's see what else. Yeah, Southport been one of the turnaround stories in recent years, but they lost hard tonight, 35-7 at Bloomington South. And we got a final now. Bishop Chatard has beaten Cardinal Ritter 48-19. So let's see, down in the southern part of the state, Columbus East all over New Albany, 54-20. I lived in New Albany for 14 years. Sorry to see those Bulldogs struggling. Well, they're not the only Bulldogs struggling. What is it about that name?
It's been a rough year for Bulldogs in high school football in Indiana.
Yeah, not sure. At least the Columbus North Bulldogs won tonight, 59-13 over visiting Terre Haute South. So not all of them are struggling, but anyway. So
now Westfield's going to punt.
Okay. Yeah. So low, but it hits the punt. The snap actually hit the ground first, but nevertheless, it's a good punt, and it took a Westfield bounce, but it actually hit a receiver in the back of his legs. He wasn't looking at it. Had it not, it could have gone well inside the 10, maybe the 5. So let's see. Yeah, Edinburgh finally got their first win. Check this: 4 overtimes. They beat Switzerland County, 46-45. I didn't know that. When did Switzerland County start playing football? That's a new one to me, because they were right next to Jefferson County where I grew up. So they must be one of the smallest schools in the state to play football. But anyway, now we've got to hand off back to, I think that was Goss. as the and he's going to be brought down at about the line of scrimmage.
No, that was
that Tecci?
That was Tecci.
Okay, so Tecci with his first rush here of the half, and they're going to give him credit for a gain of 0. So now 3 receivers to the right, 1 to the left. Tecci, the running back. Pori takes it, and he fakes the pass, and then he lets go, and it is incomplete. That'll bring up 3rd and 10.
Very lucky that ball wasn't intercepted that time, Leck, as number 22 for the Kobe Hauser for the Shamrocks had a beat on it.
Yeah, that's right. And the intended receiver, hold that thought. So now same formation. Pori gets it, drops back, rolls to his right. We got a flag. He throws far down the field on the right side. It is out of bounds, but will it count?
That's in the area of a hold, which you would assume would be declined.
Yeah, since it would bring up 4th and 10, and that means that the Shamrocks would likely get the ball back in good field position. That would be a disappointing drive, by the way, for the Royals, producing 0 yards on 1 rush. For Yep, good call. So, 10:47 your time of day now, 7:04 to go, nearly halfway through this third quarter here at Lucas Oil Stadium. And now it's they gets the punt off, but it's a bad punt. It bounces at the 34. It takes a short mile. It actually ends up with a decent Hamilton Southeastern bounce before rolling out of bounds at the 42. Nevertheless, great starting field position for the Shamrocks. And any score, and this will once again be a 1-possession game. So 1st and 10 at the 42. And now here comes the Shamrock offense. So they line up 3 receivers to the left, 1 to the right. We got 1 running back. I believe that's Karsnick again. Pepio in shotgun takes it. Gives it to Karsnick. He's over to the 40, inside up to about the 38. So, I'm sorry, that was making his first, that's Nate Froelich making his first rush of the half. So they gave him credit for 4 on that one. So now this one, Pepio on a keeper. He's going to be brought down. I think he might have gotten back to the line of scrimmage. That would be about it.
And it'll bring up 3rd and 6 as the ball rests on the 38-yard line. So another big opportunity here for the Royals defense to step up.
Yes, there's a big play here. And now Pepio turns and looks to the sidelines, as does Froelich. Now Pepio turns back, takes the snap, drops back to pass. Short screen pass on left completed, and he's got the first down, I believe. It's depending on where they mark it. But that was Milo Beam with his 2nd reception of the game. And let's see where they're going to mark it. Looks like they're going to mark him just short, which would bring up
Nope, they're moving the chains.
Okay. That was a close one, but they do give him credit for 6 yards there. So the Shamrocks now got a handoff to Froelich, and I think they're going to give him credit for 2 yards there up the middle. Yeah, Froelich. We actually had a player. They're marking him at 31, so that'll be a 1-yard gain. We actually had a player on the Indiana Fever a few years ago from Germany named Linda Froelich. I wonder if they're related. It's not a very common name, But anyway, now we've got 2 running backs, something they have not done a lot tonight. 1 receiver at each side. Pepio hands off to Froelich, and he drives forward, gets on a second and third effort, about 3 or 4 yards out of that. That'll bring up a third 5 or 6. Now they mark him down for a gain of 2. So Nate Froelich getting several carries here in the second half. 4:48 to go and counting. The Shamrocks not out of this yet, but they do need to get something on this possession. So now 3 receivers to each side. Now only 1 running back again. It's Froelich. Pepio now gives instructions to the center. Now steps back into the shotgun. 3 on the play clock. He takes it. And he ends off.
Quarterback keeper that time.
He kept it, but he's going to be short of the first down.
So they'll have a decision to make on 4th down. They need to get to the 22-yard line, Leck, and they're at the 28.
Yeah, they're going to I would imagine they would go for it, although their kicker does appear to have range out here. Yeah, they are. He's going to go for a field goal. This would be a 45-yarder.
He missed from 49.
He did hit from 40, though. And the one from 40 looked like it would have gone from several yards further out. And this one is going to be close. I think it's going to just get in. No. Just, he said it was wide left.
Had the distance, though.
Yeah, he's got a good leg.
That's tough to ask a high school kid to make a 45-yard field goal, though. I mean, it's and it doesn't say you have a lot of confidence in your offense either.
Yeah, oh yeah, and he is a junior, so he's got another year to get better with that leg. And of course, Morgan Hagee, I would say, is the best high school kicker I've ever seen from Plainfield. Now kicking at Ball State. I saw him hit a 49-yarder, and then he just missed, I think, a 54-yarder. One time, so.
Well, Brownsburg had Brandon Dowers, who was great too.
Yeah, I saw them. He attempted a 58-yarder that didn't miss by a whole lot. So anyway, now we got a first down there on the rush to start off the drive, and that was Matteo again. He's having a very good game, 2 touchdowns already, as they give him credit for 10 on that one to start off the drive. Matteo can hit you in several different directions. He's a very versatile player. As a senior, I'd imagine, he'll get a pretty good scholarship offer somewhere. So now, handoff again to Matteo. He's tripped up, but he gets 3 or 4 nevertheless. No, I'm sorry, that was Goss. They're marking him down at the 33 for a gain of 3. So second down for the Royals. 1 receiver at each side. Hand off to Goss again. He weaves his way up forward, gets up to, I think they're going to give him forward progress to the 35, bringing up 3rd and 5. That'll be a very crucial 3rd down for the Shamrocks defense. 2:38 to go and counting here in the 3rd quarter. They need to get the ball back, especially the way that the Royals are capable of milking the clock. They don't want to take a chance of them going up by 3 possessions. So now 2 receivers, now Pori, and he's hit as he unleashes the ball, and it's going to go incomplete, no flags. So after the 10 yards by Matteo to start off the drive, then the Shamrocks hold the Royals without another first down. We've got Pori as 13th of 20 through the air now.
And he got hit from the blind side there, so very fortunate he got the ball off before he was hit.
And now another bad punt, but he does get it away, so that's 3 in a row. Now he's fielded at the 35. Brought up to about the 39 there on the return. So punting definitely one thing that this Royals team will be working on, no question about it. As the Shamrocks take over at their own 39, 2:07 to go, 3rd quarter. Your score 21-10. Your Royals leading. So, as we now as the Shamrocks offense comes back to the field, they have one running back, and now it's fake the handoff, and it's thrown and completed past the 50 up to about the 47 or 48. Did not tell who got that, but he's still up, and they finally called the play at the 47 or 48.
And that was number 89, which is Bryce Sears, a senior for the Shamrocks. Boy, that play was chaos. That could have been picked off, or it could have gone for a touchdown because everybody was sort of running around each other. And it ended up being a nice gain there on first down for the Shamrocks.
Yeah, and they definitely needed to get some offense going. So now, handoff there to Karsnick. Takes it over to the right side for a gain of just about 1. Now they're going to mark him down at the 46.
Just a little stretch play that time, Leck, and Hamilton Southeastern collapsing on the football.
Yes. So now it's going to be a second. Now they change it to no gain there. No gain for Karsnick. So now 3 receivers to the right, one to the left, hand off to Karsnick, and he's brought down. No, another keeper as he faked me out again, and faked out a lot of the Royals as well. So another good run up the middle by Ryan Pepio, the multi-talented senior quarterback. So they move the chains with 1:26 to go here in the quarter. So now, 2 receivers to the right, 1 to the left. Handoff to Carson, and he breaks through for another first down up to about the 25. So they'll give him credit for about 12.
Really nice job of running that time, cutting it back, and able to make that a big gain for the Shamrocks.
Yeah, it's 12 up the middle. Karsnick having a quietly effective game there for Westfield tonight. Now he gets it again. He takes up to the 25. Up to the 21 where he's brought down.
Almost an identical play to the one they just ran. This time the Royals doing a better job of collapsing down on the running back.
So, and we got a flag here, though. We'll see what comes out of that. $10:59 your time of day here. So that'll bring up 1st and 21 for the Shamrocks on a very crucial possession. 1:04 to go here in the third quarter. They need 2 scores. And in Major League Baseball action, by the way, Cincinnati leads the Milwaukee Brewers by a score of 5-3 in the and now a handoff, by the way, to Froelich, who gets it up for about 7 yards, but he's going to be far short of the first down.
Clock continuing to move now. 35 seconds left to go in the third quarter.
And they give him credit for 8 there for Froelich. He's also had a quietly effective game. So now, Pepio hands off. No, he fakes the handoff to Froelich, throws up the middle to Manley, and he's inside the 15. So Evan Manley, who's had some big receptions in the first half, been quiet in the second half until now. So that's a 13-yard gain, and I think that's going to be good enough to move the chains.
Nope, they haven't moved them yet.
Well, so it's going to be very close. Well, I think they're going to do. Yeah, it's hard for me to imagine they wouldn't at least do a measurement there.
Well, it is the end of the quarter as well.
Oh, okay. So let's see if. Okay, so yeah, that is official. So at the end of 3 quarters of play here at Lucas Oil Stadium, your Hamilton Southeastern Royals clinging to a 21-10 lead over the visiting over the arch rival Westfield Shamrocks. Each team ranked number 5 in its respective class. Hamilton Southeastern enters this game at 3-1. Westfield at 4-0. Hamilton Southeastern lost their opener to Carmel, currently the number 3 team in Class 6A by a score of 28-7, but has run off 3 consecutive wins since, capped off by that sensational come-from-behind win last week against Fishers. And, avenging that playoff loss last year, 21-0. So there was no scoring there in the third quarter. And now the Shamrocks enter the fourth quarter needing 2 scores. They can either 2 touchdowns or a field goal plus a touchdown and a successful 2-point conversion. And now they are marking it as a first down there on the scoreboard. So, but I'll tell you, if the Royals hold the Shamrocks without any points on this drive, then that would put them very much in the driver's seat. But if the Shamrocks score even a field goal here, then it's very much anybody's game. So now handoff to Froelich. He's going to be stopped for a gain of just about 1. He took it over to the left and didn't find much there. 2nd and 9 there with the 14.
Hamilton Southeastern has 2 timeouts left, Westfield with 3.
And it's a sign of a fundamentally sound team if you save all your timeouts for when you really need them. And if I were a coach, it would drive me up the wall if my team just, arbitrarily used timeouts because they were confused about the play. So now, ironically, just after after making that comment, now Westfield takes a timeout.
Well, for those of you who might just be tuning in, 11:15 to play in the ball game. Hamilton Southeastern leads 21-10 over Westfield. I'm Rob Kendall. Your play-by-play announcer for the evening is Lex Zorn. And Hamilton Southeastern trying to move to 4-1 on the year.
Yes, and this would be their 4th consecutive win. And like I said, any doubt that the Royals were back after an off season was taken care of last week with that sensational win over Fishers. But certainly winning a big conference game here on the grand stage of Lucas Oil Stadium against the number 5 team in Class 5A would just bolster, their credentials, here in the halfway mark of the regular season. So now the Shamrocks return to the field. And let's hold that thought. So now they line up. I can't tell if that is Froelich or... Nevertheless, it's now he fixes the handoff, throws over. We've got a man over on the left, and he could go all the way, but he's knocked out inside the 5.
It is good enough for another first down, though, so it'll bring up 1st and goal.
And, yeah, that's once again Bryce Sears. He's come alive here in the second half with his first 2 receptions of the game. And they give him credit for 12 on that one. His first was for 10. So Pepio still having a solid gain. Hasn't had, And now hands off to, I couldn't tell who that was, but he's going to be brought down for, I think, about at the line of scrimmage. That was Froelich again. So the Shamrocks knocking on the door of a 1-possession game. Now they line up with 2 receivers on the right, 1 running back. And now he hands off, and these are brought down again, so that's 2 consecutive times the running back got stuffed at the line of scrimmage. It's Froelich again. So great goal line stand here by the Royals, and the clock keeps, and that's good for the Royals because even if they do get the touchdown here, then they've burned off a minute and a half more. That's far less. That gives the Shamrocks quite a bit less time to come back and catch up. So now One receiver to each side, one running back. And Pepio takes on the keeper, but I think he's going to be stopped a yard short. We will see where they mark it. Yeah, it looks like he's going to be stopped at the 1. So now let's see. Now the question is, will they go for it?
Looks like without a doubt they are lining up.
Yep. And now Pepio, did he get in?
Yes, he did. There's the signal, touchdown.
So Ryan Pepio with his second touchdown rush of the game. The other one coming from, both coming on quarterback sneaks. And it's a one-possession game again. Now the question is, will they go for the 1 or 2? A successful 2-point conversion would make it only a 3-possession deficit.
3-point deficit.
3-point deficit, yes.
And it looks like, I think along those lines, that's exactly what Westfield is looking at doing here.
Yeah, hard to believe, by the way, that's actually the first score here in the second half. But I'll tell you, by taking 4 plays to get in after they got it down at the 2, that ran off of about a minute and a half. That could be a very big factor later in the game. So now you go for the 2-point conversion. Pepio takes it, fakes the handoff. He throws up the middle, and it's good. So we got a 3-point game here. Lucas Schultz caught the pass on the 2-point conversion from Pepio. And it's anybody's game now with 9:40 to go. Your score, Hamilton Southeastern 21, Westfield 18.
Nice little crossing route that time by Schultz, and he was able to get into the end zone for the 2-point conversion. So a very nice job that time by Westfield.
Yes, definitely. And so now the pressure goes on the Hamilton Southeastern offense to just keep moving the clock in the chains. Milk as much time as you can. Use the play clock. Keep the ball in bounds. Just don't throw any incomplete passes. Don't get knocked out of bounds. And just take as much time off the clock. And if you score a touchdown on top of that, all the better. But the main thing is just milk the clock for all it's worth. So now kickoff. Now Harrison set to kick off for the Shamrocks. They've come down from 14-0. They've cut the lead from 14-3. And here's a kick. It's deep. It's going to be inside the 10, fielded at the 5, brought up to the 10, 15. And he's got a hole in the middle, so another good return there. Breaks tackle, and he could go all the way, 50, 45, 40, and he's knocked out of bounds at about the 38. Aaron Matteo, who has a touchdown he has a touchdown through the air. He has a touchdown on the ground, and very nearly had a special teams touchdown there.
Well, that's exactly what the Royals needed that time, Leck, after the big drive by Westfield. Great field position to start this drive.
Yes. So now let's see if they capitalize on their excellent field position. They're marking him down at the 40. 3 receivers to the right, 1 to the left. Porian shotgun. He's got 1 running back. And now Porian on the keeper. He finds a hole. He gets past 35, breaks a tackle, gets the first down, but there's a flag, so will it count? Nevertheless, that was a very good run there.
Well, big plays that have been called back by penalties have hurt hurt Hamilton Southeastern all night.
Yes. And so we'll see what the verdict is there. So, a bad break for the Royals, but they still do have good field position. So it'll be 1st and 12 at the 42. Now, same formation here. And Pori fakes and he throws deep into the end zone. He's got a man open. He makes the catch, and he's brought down at the 5. Greg Miller again. He's had a quiet second half, but he was big in the first half, and now he's got the Royals knocking on the door of a 2-possession lead once again. The play covers 37 yards.
Well, first and goal now for the Royals.
So now handoff there to, I believe that's a touchdown. And that was Matteo again.
Yeah, he's definitely going to be taking home MVP honors in this ball game tonight. Another touchdown for Matteo. Just taking the handoff, leaning forward, and a nice job by the HSE line that time, as the lead now back to 9 and a chance to make it 10.
So now let's see, Melser on the extra point attempt again. He's perfect on the game so far. Trying to make it 4 for 4. It's a good snap. And it is good. So, with 9:10 to go, your Hamilton Southeastern Royals once again have a 2-possession lead over the Westfield Shamrocks. Your score 28 to 18, 9:10 to go here in the fourth quarter. But don't count the Shamrocks out yet. They still have a very versatile audience that can hit you from a lot of different directions. So, one big play, and they'll be right back in this game. The time of the drive, by the way, 30 seconds.
Yeah, I guess that'd be the only thing you could say about it is they probably wish they'd taken more time.
Yeah. But nevertheless, they'll be content with the 2-possession lead here. So it's really, except for the penalties and the punting problems, it's been overall a very good game. And now the kickoff bounces at the 19, caught on one bounce and brought up to about the 28 there.
Well, so once again, Hamilton Southeastern's defense will get a chance to make a mark on this one. Again, it's 28 to 18, 9:04 to play in the fourth quarter.
Yes, and Aaron Matteo, the biggest story for the Royals, 3 touchdowns, 2 on the ground, 1 through the air, and then a kickoff return of about 60 yards there. That helped set up that, as well as the 37-yard pass from Carter Pori to Greg Miller. So a lot of, it's been a real team effort for the Royals. Gotten a lot of contributors. Some usual, some not. So now handoff to Karshnick over on the left side. He's going to be knocked out of bounds for about 3. Overall, the Westfield rushing attack has done a solid job all game. They just haven't had a whole lot of huge plays that to break the game open. 8:58 to go and counting now. 3 receivers to the right, 1 to the left. Karshnick, the lone running back. Pepio in shotgun. Takes it. Screen pass over to the right. It's completed. It's going to be just short of the first down there. That was Max McCool on the reception there. I think it's going to be good for 6 yards there. No, they're going to say he got the first. So good break there for the and now Pepio fakes the handoff, keeps it himself, and he rushes up the middle for about 5.
Still plenty of time for Westfield, though they need to start being cognizant of the clock, and they're going out of this no-huddle offense now, as I think they are just having that exact thing in mind.
Yes, definitely. They are playing with some urgency here after that 5-yard rush from Pepio. So now, 3 receivers to the right, 1 to the left. Karshnick, the running back. Karshnick, they fake it to Karshnick, and now Pepio throws down the left side, and he's got a completion for the first down. We got a flag now, and he's brought down at about the 30. So we'll see if it counts or not. If it'll be about a 26-yard play if it stands, but we're still waiting for a signal. Oh, no, okay, so they're saying it was incomplete. Excuse me. I thought he had it from my vantage point. Evan Manley was the intended receiver. So it will be a pass interference against the Royals. So that means that the Shamrocks will take over at the 41. They'll have the ball 1st and 10 at the Hamilton Southeastern 41. 2 receivers to each side now. Karsnick, the running back. And now screen pass to Karsnick. Breaks through up the middle now over the left side. He's going to be close to the first down. I think they're going to mark him a yard short.
Yeah, nice little screen that time. And Karsnick got in the open field, was able to make a couple spins and pick up 9 yards on first down.
Yeah, that was Karsnick's first reception of the game. I have him with 17 rushes. So now, same formation. Pepio under center, 2nd and 1 at the 32. They need 2 scores here. Now, and it's intercepted on the tip.
Wow, what a turn of events that time on the far side of the field, and that was number 17 for the Royals, Trey Poor.
Yeah, and it was that was not Pepio's fault. It was off the fingertips of Manley. Should have made the catch. So disappointing. And now that really puts Hamilton Southeastern firmly in control of this game. Now it's theirs to lose. 2 possessions, 7:28 to go.
Yeah, like you just touched on there, Leck, that's a huge play in the ball game with 7:28 to play. They'll get the possession back, and just tough break for Westfield because a good throw, and the guy just couldn't bring the ball in.
Yeah, definitely. So now handoff to, I believe that's Goss up the middle for several yards. No, that's Tecci, excuse me. They give Tecci credit for 5. So it'll bring up 2nd and 5, 7:08 to go. Hamilton Southeastern has the ball at their own 37. So now 3 receivers to the left, 1 to the right. Tecci standing to the right of Pori. Gets the handoff, and Tecci brings it up for about 2. Tecci, a relatively quiet game so far. And that's 3rd and 4. And now, a very crucial play for the Westfield defense. They need to stop the Royals from getting any points on this drive, and they need to get the ball back as soon as possible. So now a handoff to Tecci, but I think he's going to have the first. Yes, he does.
Just put the shoulder down, drove forward, picked up a huge first down, and now Southeastern, who a lot of times does work out of that no huddle, probably start to see them run some clock and let that play clock wind down. Oh, boy, he almost fumbled that handoff, too, Lack. That was very close to popping out, and
yes.
Just a huge break for the Royals that time.
Yeah, so, because then the Shamrocks would have taken over an excellent field position, but as it is right now, 1st and 10, less than half a quarter to go now. So high snap, fakes the handoff, throws, and he's going to go all the way. Yes, he is going all the way. So that's going to be a 56-yard touchdown pass to Greg Miller, his 2nd touchdown of the game.
Little pitch and catch. Pori, nice pass. Miller, nice catch. I mean, we're watching here on the replay. Snap, little play action, boom, little slant route, and then he was off to the races. And Hamilton Southeastern probably putting this one away now as their lead is 34-18.
Yeah, with the extra point, then it will be a 3-possession game. And in 5:45, it's very hard to imagine any reasonable scenario in which Westfield would come back from that kind of deficit. So now Melser trying to go 5 for 5 on extra points in the game. Well, scoring's come in bunches in this game. We had hold that thought till after the extra point. Oh, and he bobbles the extra point. So and they fall on it. So that'll go down as a failed 2-point conversion attempt. So it's still a 2-possession game, although Westfield would need not only 2 touchdowns but also 2 successful 2-point conversions. So not likely, but certainly a better chance than coming back from 3 possessions. So stay tuned. It's not quite over yet, but it is Hamilton Southeastern's to lose, certainly. But yeah, scoring has come in bunches in this game, though. We had only one score in the first quarter. Then we had 4 in the second and none in the third, but now 3 in the fourth, coming in a span of less than 4 minutes.
Well, and obviously, if you're Hamilton Southeastern now, you probably see some prevent type defense, keep the ball from going behind you.
Yep. So now, 2 receivers back deep and it's going to be very close to fielded at the 5, brought up to the 10, 15, 20, 25, up to about the 27 there for the Shamrocks. 5:39 to go. They need 2 touchdowns and 2 successful 2-point conversions. It's been a wild game. Yeah, Pori is not known for, being a real gunslinger, but he has touchdown passes of 98 and 56 yards in this game.
Well, and his receivers have also made some great runs after the catch.
Yes. So, definitely probably the best game of Pori's career. And certainly he's much improved as a junior. He's much improved than what he was as a junior. And really looking like one of the better quarterbacks in Central Indiana right now. So now Pepio with the screen pass over to Manley, but he's brought down for a loss.
And obviously he stays in bounds, so the clock will continue to move.
Yes. Now I have Miller with 200 yards receiving, by the way, along with the 2 touchdowns. Outstanding game for Miller. Definitely his college stock has gone up tonight. So now they go for, that's the -2 on that first play. Now overthrown there on the left side. So that's going to be 3rd and 12 now. That was, I believe, Beam was the intended receiver there. So very crucial 3rd down for the Shamrocks offense. 5:03 to go. They need 16 points and fast. And now he throws up the middle, and it is incomplete. So the intended receiver, I believe Beam was the intended receiver again on that one. Nevertheless, it will be 4th down and 12 at the 25 with 4:56 to go. So it looks like they are going to go for it. Nothing to lose at this point. But if you're just tuning in now, though, with your Royals leading Westfield 34-18, it's been a closer game than the score implies. It's been a 1-possession game for a lot of the night. So now Pepio throws up the middle, and it is intercepted at about the 50, returned over to the 45, and he could take it all the way over to the 35. Now he's still on his feet over to the and brought down at the 36. Nice effort, though. But, yeah, Pepio with the 2nd interception of the game, and he really didn't have anything there. He was just throwing it. And, I mean, he just didn't have any options except to get rid of it. So he has 2 interceptions tonight, but, the second one was a throwaway. The first one was not his fault. It was off of Manley's fingertips.
And that was number 32 for your Royals, Brock Burns, with the interception.
Yeah, Burns had some nice returns tonight as well, so he's having a good all-around game. So now the Royals can put it in deep freeze. Pori in shotgun with 3 receivers to the left, 1 to the right.
Now check that. It looks like he's not even at Pori's not even under center.
Okay, and we got a flag here. So the play is dead. So I can...
Looks like that's number 10. Carter Lohman is a sophomore. He is the backup quarterback, and he gets a delay of game on his first play.
Yeah, so both quarterbacks named Carter. That's odd. All right. So now takes it on the keeper, and he gets up for about 3 or 4. So, Lohman actually did have 1 rush earlier. So that'll bring up 2nd and 12 as they give him credit for a 3 on that one. So now 3 receivers to the right, 1 to the left, 1 running back, and 4:02 to go and counting. Hamilton Southeastern just about to clinch it. And now Lohman takes it again this time, but he's going to be brought down for a loss of about 2. 3:50 to go now. This will be their 4th consecutive win, barring a major, major collapse. Obviously, though, Hamilton Southeastern feels pretty good about it, so putting their backup quarterback into the game now. I thought they'd leave Pori out at least 1 more possession.
Well, they brought him back in here on 3rd down.
Okay, let's see. So now Pori takes it and he gives it. I can't tell who got it, but it's going to be brought down for another short loss.
I think that was Matteo.
Yes, Matteo hasn't lost yardage. I think it's the first time Matteo's lost yardage tonight, but they give him credit for -2 there.
Clock will wind inside of 3 minutes now, and they'll be able to take this thing down to about, and now Westfield's going to burn timeout, so it'll bring up 4th down, ball at the 42, and they've got to get all the way down to the 27, so about 3rd and 15 coming up, 4th and 15 coming up.
Yes, indeed. And so, well, I'll tell you, Hamilton Southeastern, if you're a Royals fan, you've got to feel pretty good right now. It's been, a tough, it was a tough off season for the Royals coming off that 4-6 season, especially with that 21-0 loss to Fishers fresh on their minds. But they've really turned it on here, and really, you go back 4 weeks ago to the season opening loss to Carmel. Obviously, it's never pleasant to lose 28-0, but one thing that really struck me about that game, they held Carmel to 3 and out quite a few times that night. So, granted, they only scored 7 points, but very few teams score many points against Carmel. So, and I think that loss really helped toughen these guys. And you look at the way they responded in the last 4 games, especially. Most teams, they get down 28-0, they fold. But the Royals, they fought back hard last week and got a big time win there against a big time program there at Fisher. So now they set to punt with 3:02 to go here. Just trying to avoid a collapse. They got the punt off again. It bounced at the 15 and the 10, fielded at the 7, and brought up to just about the 10 or the 11 here.
This was coming back. It's either going to be running into the kicker or roughing the kicker, and that's a big difference.
Yes, yes, it is.
On the receiving team, that penalty will be declined. 1st down.
So with the good result on the punt for Hamilton Southeastern, obviously they're not going to go for it on 4th down despite getting the extra 5 yards. They just decline the penalty.
Yes, so 2:51 to go in the 4th quarter with your Royals hoping to, well, I shouldn't say hoping to. Now they're just about to close in on the win. So now Westfield takes over at their own 9. Pepio fakes the handoff. He throws up the middle, and it's complete for a 1st down to about the 27. And the clock will stop momentarily to move the chains. That was Max McCool on the reception for 18 yards. So now the clock stops. Now the clock restarts. Pepio looks to pass again. Throws up the middle. It's completed. It's up to the 35. Manley tries to get it a bounce, but he doesn't even get close. He's brought down for a gain of 6. So the clock continues ticking. 2:21 to go now with the Shamrocks 1 timeout left. And now It's this one, and it's was it caught? It was tipped by one player for the Shamrocks and caught by another, and it will be good for the first down. That was, I believe, that was Beam there on the reception. Let's see here. I'm watching the replay now. He unleashed it. It was intended by Manley, but okay, it was caught by Schultz there. So now, again, now you got a bullet up the middle. That's caught for another first down. And that time it was Beam. So they got the ball up. They're moving the ball very well in this drive up to about the 45, but only 1:56 to go. So 3 receivers to the left, 1 to the right. Pepio throws it, and he gets the first down and gets out of bounds. So good clock management on this drive by the Shamrocks. They move the chains again. 1:49 to go. 1st and 10 at the 34. Pepio's 4 for 4 on this drive. I believe he's hit 4 different receivers too. But anyway, 3 receivers to the right now, 1 to the left, 1 running back. Pepio under shotgun, 1:49 to go. Throws up the middle, and it's just off the forearm of his intended receiver, Evan Manley.
Minute 45 left to go now.
They started at the 9. They've already driven...
it hit him in the head.
Oh, okay. So they've driven 57 yards in 5 plays on this drive. Looking very good. And you're really showing good clock management. Certainly better clock management than we've seen in some other games this year. But now Pepio takes the snap. He looks, got a man open, but just over his head, so that's now 2 consecutive incompletions there by Pepio after 4 completions to start the drive, excuse me. So now 1:40 to go. 2 receivers to each side, 1 running back. Pepio now throws over to the right side, but it's going to be incomplete through the hands of his intended receiver.
He had the receiver open that time, too. Hit him right in the hands. So he's hit a receiver in the head and the hands, and has nothing to show for it on this set of downs.
So now 4th and 10. The game hinging on this play here. They need at least 10 yards. They do have 1 timeout. So if they turn the ball over on downs here, Hamilton Southeastern can run out the rest of the clock. So Pepio now throws up the middle, and it is incomplete, and that'll do it. The Royals are 2 or 3 kneel downs away from improving to 4-1, and this will be the first loss of the season of Westfield. Of course, they are a 5A team. Hamilton Southeastern is 6A. But nevertheless, a great win, and definitely, it gives the Royals even more momentum heading into next week's showdown over at Zionsville, who currently is the number 8 team in Class 5A, and it looks like they have their best team in several years now. So, it was a hard-fought game as Pori kneels down there. 1:24 to go and counting. And it looks like the Shamrocks will not use that last timeout. Well, they do. Okay. So, surprised that they used it, but nevertheless, great win for Hamilton Southeastern on this grand stage of Lucas Oil Stadium. And I'll tell you, they've got a very tough sectional, along with Fishers Carmel and Noblesville. Noblesville not quite as tough, but, Carmel, obviously, Carmel's Carmel. And Fishers a perennial top 10 team as well. But if the Royals keep playing the way that they've been playing these last 4 weeks, and cut down on the turnovers, improve the kicking and punting, then I think they, if they go out and play their best, I don't rule out them, getting a win over Carmel or Fishers. I mean, it would be tough, but it certainly can be done. There is Pori Niels again, bringing up third down, and 1:15 to go and counting. And now the I almost said shot clock. The play clock starts. 18 now. So actually, they come to think of it, they might get Westfield might get the ball back, but there would just be a few seconds left. So presumably not enough time for two scores. So now 5 seconds to go. 4, 3, 2, 1, and now Pori goes back several yards, and then Niels again, trying to catching on to the Shamrock strategy. 34 seconds to go and counting, and now, let's see, did they start the play clock again? Yes, but there's only about a 3-second differential. So, anyway, it was a great win for the Royals against, not an elite opponent, but a very good opponent. Like I said, Westfield, one of the top 5A programs in the state, lost this 5A championship 2 weeks ago. Or 2 years ago, excuse me. And now as Pori takes one final kneel down, and that's the game. So your final score here tonight at Lucas Oil Stadium, your Hamilton Southeastern Royals get off to a 14-0 lead. Then they get a couple of mistakes, a couple of blocked punts and penalties allowed the Shamrocks to get back in it. They got it down to one possession several times, got as close as 3. Making it 21-18, but then 2 touchdowns in quick succession by the Royals helped them put it away, and they improved to 4-1 on the season, while Westfield falls to 4-1.
All right, well, that is going to do it for us tonight. One final time, your score 34-18. Hamilton Southeastern takes it over Westfield. Our next Royals broadcast will be this coming Friday at 7 o'clock at Zionsville. Royals move to 4-1 on the season. We'll talk to you Monday night on the Scott May Show. For our play-by-play announcer, Lex Zorn, I'm Rob Kendall saying have yourself a great evening.
Good night.